We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
Good morning. It is 9:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, tune in the FM dial. You can watch us. Super Talk TV is up and running. We are live on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit share. Help us grow the digital footprint of the radio station. It really does help us a lot. I want to begin today by wishing a very, very, very happy birthday to the wonderful mother of my 4 children, my beautiful wife, Virginia. She is... She's a year older, and we are so grateful for this woman. I got to tell you, the amount of things that I put my wife through, and then the amount of things that my kids put my wife through. We have an angel at home in Virginia, and I'm very grateful for her.
And she's a beautiful angel.
She's a beautiful angel. Yeah. She's hot. Not gonna lie.
Smoking hot.
Not gonna lie. I know what happens on my birthday. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for later. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You're awful.
What? I'm talking about a nice dinner.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Come with him.
So happy birthday, Virginia. This woman is unbelievable. Just what she puts up with me with all the travel, the constantly working 2 jobs. She stays at home with these kids, and she does the homeschooling. And even tonight, it's her birthday. And I'm working. We're doing the All-Pro Dad event, and I wouldn't miss that for the world. It's going to be a really, really cool event. Rain or shine, it's going to happen, but it's like even on her birthday, I'm still putting her through you-know-what, and I got things to do, and we're moving and shaking, and she is my rock. So happy birthday, Virginia. I hope today is awesome. I surprised her with breakfast this morning.
Let's go.
I didn't cook it myself.
McDonald's?
I Ubered eated some First Watch.
Ooh, that's a good choice, though.
But I took care of it. Cooked some steaks last night.
Nice.
Yep. I went and got her some beef tallow face moisturizer. I did the things, you know.
The Steak and Shake way.
The Steak and Shake way. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit. We got it from Burrow.
Oh yeah, that's a little better.
You've actually tried that beef tallow, haven't you, Joan? We got you one time.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. So
my birthday's coming up.
Perfect. Let me know. Keep me posted, and I'll tell John where to get it.
Good one.
We got a lot to get to today in a very short amount of time. We will be joined by our White House reporter, Monica Page. Monica is going to be joining us live from the White House North Lawn at 10:05 to let us know what's been going on in D.C. Is it quieter with the government shutdown, or is it just as hectic? My guess would be just as hectic. Yesterday, the president met with Central Asian presidents inside the Oval Office, and he racked up some big wins. He's got some trade deals coming through. He's got another country joining the Abraham Accords. And I'm very excited for all of these things. I truly am. And I think that this is one of the things that we voted for President Trump to do. Still waiting for those domestic wins to start racking up. And we do need to refocus on domestic policy here. That's going to be key if we want to win in the midterms. And that's not a knock. That's just a constructive piece of criticism for the Trump administration. Let's get some domestic wins. Let's start racking those up and let's start celebrating them. We were talking during the crisscross handoff about the Walmart snafu, where President Trump says, Walmart and the Trump administration, they're touting Walmart has 25% lower cost for their Thanksgiving meal this year. And the reality of that is that they took some items off the menu. And people tell me on the text line, they said, Chris, that was Walmart's CEO lying to the administration. Chris, that was Trump taking Walmart's CEO, his word at face value. And I would just say, where's the personal accountability? Where's the fact checking? And why are we trusting CEOs? Anybody? No? Oh, okay. Prices are still high in this country. I do understand what President Trump is doing with reshoring the manufacturing, and I hope to see some fruit from that very, very soon. It's going to take some time. We understand that. But don't gaslight us in the meantime. This is what happened during the Biden administration, and we all would see the lies, and then we would go, it's just demonstrably false because, look, the internet exists. And I don't want the Trump administration to fall into these same ditches that the Biden administration did. Rack up the wins, celebrate the wins, but don't pee and say it's raining. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest with the American people. We're grown-ups. We can handle it. Tell us the truth. This is why you got elected. I digress. Big wins yesterday. Central Asian presidents in the White House. Bilateral meetings. President Trump was celebrating those yesterday, and he got some big things done. Let's not beat around the bush. Uzbekistan, we got a trade deal, and they're joining the Abraham Accords. But this is how it opened up. President Trump saying we're strengthening these partnerships, and this is President Trump at the White House yesterday.
Completed a series of outstanding bilateral meetings with these leaders in the Oval Office to discuss our ties with this very important part of the universe. We're strengthening our economic partnerships, improving our security cooperation, and expanding our overall bonds. A tremendous amounts of trade was done just in the last little while. Lots of great products, military products and otherwise, are being bought from the United States. We make the best military equipment by far in the world, and they understood it, really have understood it for a while, ever since I've been in office, where we rebuilt completely our military. I want to thank all of the leaders for being here and for their dedication to a strong relationship with the USA. The nations of Central Asia, known as the C5, sit at the historical and geographic crossroads of the world. These nations were once home to the ancient Silk Road connecting east and west. Great history, tremendous, beautiful history. Today, their location in the heart of Eurasia gives them incredible importance and unbelievable potential. Sadly, previous American presidents neglected this region completely. It's an unbelievable region, and by the way, it happens to be an extremely wealthy region, too.
You can't lie. I mean, you can't argue with that. It's not a lie. Yes, the Central Asia countries were neglected. I mean, who talks about Uzbekistan? Who talks about Kazakhstan? Nobody does. They're flyover countries when it comes to that part of the world. Let's not beat around the bush. The big news coming out of yesterday was an expansion of the Abraham Accords, which is something that was being promised for a long time. It wasn't Saudi Arabia. It wasn't one of the big players, but Kazakhstan joining the Abraham Accords is a big deal. Donald Trump on Truth Social saying, I just held a great call between Benjamin Netanyahu and Kassym-Jomart Tokayev of Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is the first country of my second term to join the Abraham Accords, the first of many. This is a major first step in building bridges across the world. Today, more nations are lining up to embrace peace and prosperity through my Abraham Accords. We will soon announce a signing ceremony to make it official, and there are many more countries trying to join this club of strength. So much more to come in uniting countries for stability and growth. Real progress, real results. Blessed are the peacemakers. Only one guy could do this. That is President Trump. He talked about it a little bit yesterday while he was at this meeting with the Central Asia presidents. And this is Donald Trump talking about the Abraham Accords.
And this evening, I'm also delighted to report that Kazakhstan has officially agreed, and that's official now, as of about 15 minutes ago. A tremendous country with a tremendous leader has officially joined the Abraham Accords. And I just want to thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor. It's a tremendous honor to have you, really.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, the Abraham Accords in general is something that nobody thought could be done. Vice President Vance also at this meeting speaking on the Abraham Accords.
I think the diplomatic significance is that it gives great momentum to the Abraham Accords. And to recap for those those who are listening who don't appreciate, the Abraham Accords, of course, is the historic agreement struck by the president in the first term to rebuild the alliance structure and the relationships between Israel and a number of the majority Muslim countries in that region of the world. What the president has done is actually signaled that the momentum of the Abraham Accords is alive and well in the second administration. I think it's not just going to be Kazakhstan, but also a number of other countries that join in the months to come. So it's a great signal, a great act of friendship, and a great sign that the Abraham Accords is alive and well.
Yeah, listen, this is a good thing. World peace is a good thing. There will be detractors that will say that this is President Trump proving that he is Israel first. But I think world peace is good for the world. This is a net positive, and I don't think that you should view it that way. The Kazakh president, he made some comments, and he fluffed Trump. I mean, he glazed him on the world stage here.
Precisely 1 year ago, you achieved a landslide victory in historic election, which was absolutely clean and fair. And once again, my congratulations.
Thank you.
And my strong belief that, Mr. President, you are the great leader, statesman, sent by heaven to bring common sense and traditions that we all share and value back into the United States policy, either domestic or foreign. Therefore, millions of people in so many countries are so grateful to you. And I'm convinced that your wise and bold policy needs to be strongly supported worldwide.
So that's the Kazakhstan president. Uzbekistan was also in attendance. Their president agreeing to a new trade deal yesterday. And hopefully the Supreme Court sides with Donald Trump on tariffs, because I think the way he's getting these trade deals done, it's hard to argue that it's anything other than tariffs. The trade deal with Uzbekistan was announced on Truth Social first, saying, I'm thrilled to announce an incredible deal, trade and economic, between the United States and Uzbekistan. Over the next 3 years, Uzbekistan will be purchasing and investing almost $35 billion, and in the next 10 years, over $100 billion in key American sectors, including critical minerals, aviation, automotive parts, infrastructure, agriculture, energy and chemicals, information technology, and others. I want to thank Uzbekistan's highly respected president, Shavkat Mirziyoyev. I'm pretty sure I nailed that. We look forward to our productive relationships between our countries. The president of Uzbekistan was in attendance at these meetings. And speaking through a translator, he called President Trump the president of the world. Not of America, of the world. And it's hard to argue. This guy is the leader of the free world.
Esteemed Mr. Trump, we highly value your personal contribution to reboot process of C5+1. Before that, none of the presidents of United States of America never treated Central Asia as you do. Me personally and all my colleagues are grateful to you. We felt your close attention, your attitude, and it means a lot for us. Thank you very much for that. In reality, indeed, I'd like to repeat myself. I've told you that already. In Uzbekistan, we call you the president of the world. You've done a lot. You were able to stop 8 wars, and I'm convinced that the war between Russia and Ukraine can be only stopped by you, and we are very much hopeful for that.
That was the president of Uzbekistan. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name again because even though I nailed it the first time, I'm not confident I can do it twice in a row. But he's the president of peace. He's the president of the world. People will say that, and listen, I think we need to rack up more domestic wins if we want to win in the midterms. But we can walk and chew gum. These are huge wins. Expanding the Abraham Accords, getting more trade deals on the books. This is good for America. Make no mistake about it. And the president of peace wasn't done there. He also talked about denuclearization, and he says that he wants to talk to everybody about it. Xi and Putin, denuclearization. This is what the president of peace is focused on.
We had a tremendous meeting, as you know, with President Xi in China, and my doctrine would be denuclearization because we have enough nuclear. We're number one, Russia's number two, China's number three. Way behind, but they'll be even in 4 or 5 years. They're, working overtime on nuclear weapons. I think that denuclearization would be a great thing. We could blow up the world 150 times. There's no need for this. So I really think we're going to have, I've spoken to President Putin about it. I've spoken to President Xi about it. And everybody would like to spend all of that money on other things, people that really, things that can benefit people now. So I think something like that could happen, the denuclearization. It's really, I want peace through strength, but we want peace all over the world, and we're very close to getting it. We had a lot of wars raging that people didn't know about. Now they're not raging anymore. We have one left, and we're going to hopefully get that taken care of.
That's the president of peace, once again, aiming really, really high. Is denuclearization something that is a possibility? I'm not going to doubt this president. I mean, did you think that anything he's been able to accomplish over the last 10 months was a realistic possibility? Some of it, sure. Not all of it. I love that he always has goals off in the distance that are high value, high targets, and he's aiming for them at the very least. Instead of throwing up his hands and going, hey, ain't going to be done, let's try. What do you have to lose otherwise? 9:22. We'll talk a little bit more about President Trump here at this meeting with the Central Asian presidents. He was getting in on the government shutdown. He's not exactly happy that a judge is stepping in the way of the government shutdown and ruling that the administration must pay full SNAP benefits. Trump commented on it as well as J.D. Vance. We'll bring you the story on the way. It's 9:23. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Chris Hand here for my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It is now November. New deals are on the way for you. How about this? This special is only happening in November. If you've got a slow or a clogged drain, don't wait around and hope it fixes itself. Call Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today and take advantage of their 93 or free mainline opening special. Here's the deal. They'll either clear your main line for just $93 or it's free. This is a November-only deal, and it's a great way to keep your home running smooth before the holidays. And I love this one. This one you're going to have to take advantage of super quick. Busy Bee is showing some gratitude this month. One lucky veteran is going to win a 50-gallon water heater with installation. Just send them a photo of you in uniform, and that's it. You're entered to win. Winner's going to be announced on Veterans Day, Monday, November 11th. Plus, if you've got a favorite Thanksgiving recipe, share it. You can win $2,000 off a new HVAC system. The runner-up is going to get $1,000 off a new HVAC system. Those winners are going to be announced on Facebook Live on November 21st. So, again, I don't want to bury the lead. 93 are free. Mainline opening special now from Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, where comfort meets care. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. BusyBeeHVAC.com.
Elon Musk's privately funded tunnel from downtown BNA.
The most cutting-edge transit systems in the world.
They call it the Music City Loop. We call it the BNA hole.
We've submitted a list of questions, and so we're looking forward to the opportunity to get answers.
Questions like, how does a tunnel work? Or how can I be the biggest a-hole in the room without even trying? Because clearly, the fiscally responsible thing to do is to keep traffic backed up until every driver becomes an a-hole. the B&A hole. Zero cost to the taxpayers, and that's the real problem for the left.
I kind of think that's on brand.
Not enough opportunity to play tax collector a-hole. The B&A hole, where progress goes to upset liberals.
We've just reached the 2-year mark of the Freddie O'Connell tenure as mayor of the city of Nashville, and one asks oneself, what has he done for this city? Now, look, I've had Freddie on this show, and do I need to tell you yet again that he seems like a nice enough guy? Do I need to? Oh, he seems like a nice enough guy. I'd like to sit down and have a beer with him. You know, my grandma seems like a nice enough lady, but she's dead. I don't want her to be the mayor of Nashville. Just because they're nice people doesn't mean that they're good leaders. Now, Freddie is set to be on this radio show in 3 weeks. November 7th, we have him slated, I think, in the 3 o'clock hour. I was talking to his guy, Alex Apple, about that just several days ago. And we will present all of this to him. Tell me what your accomplishments are as mayor of this city, besides raising taxes, because you've done that twice. Twice.
Coming up on Super Talk 99.7, what happened before police shot and killed a man downtown this morning? We have some details. It's coming up here at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Joan with the headlines on the way. It's 9:29, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris And. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Monica Page joining us live from the White House North Lawn at 10:05. It's going to be a good conversation. We haven't spoken to Monica in a couple weeks, so there's a lot to cover. Yesterday at the White House, President Trump meeting with the governments and the presidents of Central Asia countries. And while he was there, he talked a little bit about the government shutdown.
The shutdown is caused by the Democrats, and we're not going to spend $1 trillion or $1.5 trillion on health care for people that came into our country illegally, many of them from prisons and many of them drug dealers and murderers, 11,888 murderers. We're not doing that, so we'll see about that. We shouldn't, they should have, as they've done always in the past, it should have just been extended. It could have been extended very easily, and it should have been.
Yeah, it should have been, but it won't. And you got different reports from the same outlet. Politico reported, okay, listen to this. So Politico reported yesterday, a deal is near to reopen the government, per Politico. And then another headline ran and said, Senate Democrats are expected to block tomorrow's CR vote as they push for further concession from Republicans. So which is it? Is the deal near? Is the deal far? I don't know. I just know it's a mess. And we have activist judges sticking their nose where they don't belong once again. Government shutdown, can't fund SNAP benefits. Judge says you got to find the money. What? We're $38 trillion in debt. Let's print more. Let's make the money machines go burr. Is that what we're supposed to do? Is that what we're supposed to? I think that's what they want us to do. Vice President Vance talked about that a little bit, as well as President Trump. We'll bring you that when we get back. It's 9:30. Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Good morning now, 9:31. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Well, the downtown shooting that has closed the intersection at 5th and Lafayette Streets today, police there called to the Greyhound bus station at that location about 6:45 this morning for a suicidal man. When they arrived, though, they say that man told him he had a gun and then reached into his backpack. That's when police fired on him. That man died later at the hospital. The officers now on administrative duty. The investigation at that intersection at 5th and Lafayette Street still very active this morning. And it's a great place, they say, to stay away from if you can. Airlines scaling back the number of flights today to comply with an order from the FAA as more air traffic controllers call in sick. News 2's Jaxie Pigeon at BNA this morning.
According to FlightAware, more than 800 flights within, into, or out of the U.S. have been canceled so far. American Airlines says it will cancel about 200 of its roughly 6,000 departures starting today and lasting through this weekend. United Airlines says it plans to cancel less than 200 of its more than 5,000 flights each day through this weekend.
Now, FlightView says 90% of the flights right now at BNA are on time. 4% are what they call very late. You'll want to check with your airline before heading to the airport today. Former Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Cassada and his former Chief of Staff Cade Cothran, both pardoned by President Trump. The pair had recently been sentenced for public corruption convictions tied to a fake political consulting firm. News 2's Alicia Wemberly.
According to the Department of Justice, the two engaged in a money-making scheme while in office. They deceived their colleagues in the General Assembly to fund the company Phoenix Solutions, Cothran's political consulting business he established with Cassada's help.
It's not clear if the president also pardoned former state rep Robin Smith, who received an 8-month sentence. She cooperated with prosecutors and testified against Cassada and Cothran. And that is the latest news. Now, weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at United Structural Systems. You know them as USS. We got rain coming into the area this afternoon. Have you fixed your waterproofing issue, or have you just been kicking the can down the road? If you've been kicking the can down the road, you know where that water's going, into the crawl space and into the basement. And you might kick the can down the road again, but I would suggest you don't. If you keep ignoring this issue, it's going to lead to bigger problems. Mold in your crawl space, wood rot. The wood rot's going to lead to foundation issues. Then you're going to notice things like sagging floors, cracks showing up in the drywall, and doors that don't shut right. Those aren't small problems. Those are red flags. See, a strong foundation is going to be the backbone of a strong home. And when it weakens because of water getting in, it's only going to get worse with time. This is why you need to call USS. They've been doing this work since 1994, keeping Tennessee homes dry, stable, and secure the way they should be. If you've been kicking the can, don't do it anymore. Call USS today. When it comes to your home, these people are the ones you can trust. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, or find them online, USSTN.com.
Hey dads, want an epic night with your kids? Head to Nissan Stadium for the Nashville All-Pro Dad Experience. On November 7th from 6 to 8:30 p.m., you'll make memories with your family as you run on the field and enjoy bonding activities. Expect fun, laughs, and fatherhood tips from Tennessee Titans long snapper Morgan Cox to help you be a better dad. All for less than a trip through the drive-thru. Just $35 gets you an unforgettable time with your kids. Register today at allprodad.com/events. The Nashville All-Pro Dad Experience is brought to you by Amazon, Arby's Foundation, Coca-Cola Consolidated, Colgate Bright Smiles Bright Futures, and Pinnacle Financial Partners.
Pete Hegseth speaking earlier. They've gathered all of the top generals in the entire world, brought them to Quantico and said, stop being fat and gay. Maybe I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but that's generally the message that we're getting.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. We are done with that shit. Standards must be uniform, gender neutral, and high. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon. But if the words I'm speaking today are making your heart sink, then you should do the honorable thing and resign.
Stop being so fat and so gay. Let's focus on the mission. If you can do the job, you're welcomed here. No matter your sexual orientation or your skin color, but we're getting back to merit. $9:38, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, TuneIn, the FM dial. You can watch us, Super Talk TV, up and running. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. We're on Rumble, right? Sometimes I got to double check on Rumble. We love what Rumble represents, but it's an awkward platform, guys. It's an awkward platform.
It is on as of right now.
Perfect. Hit like and hit subscribe. We could use all the Rumble viewers that we can get. Hit like and hit subscribe on the YouTube channel as well. With the chance of severe weather, and I know we're going to be on the air, like officially at this time with Murphy when those storms hit.
Yeah.
Super low chance tonight. But when those severe weather storms happen, we will be going live on YouTube as well. And there's a bell that you can click on the YouTube page, so that way you get the alerts sent right to your phone when we go live. I know you don't really need it to know when I'm on or Mandis is on or Benson or Murphy, but when those severe weather situations happen, we'll be live on the YouTube stream with radars and full coverage, so that way we can just keep you up to date on everything happening. So
yeah, it's an all hands on deck thing. We're all here to help make sure that you guys are all taken care of.
Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff going on. We're pretty busy.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You would think the government wouldn't have as much going on with them being shut down, but they've been busy as well. I feel like I'm still waiting for the news cycle to slow down. Although this past week has felt a bit like Groundhog's Day.
Just a little bit.
Have you felt like that too? It's like we're kind of covering the same stuff. It's still government shutdown. I get it. Donald Trump was talking about government shutdown yesterday.
Is caused by the Democrats, and we're not going to spend $1 trillion or $1.5 trillion on health care for people that came into our country illegally, many of them from prisons and many of them drug dealers and murderers, 11,888 murderers. We're not doing that, so we'll see about that. We shouldn't, they should have, as they've done always in the past, it should have just been extended. It could have been extended very easily, and it should have been. They shut down.
Could have been extended very easily. Should have been. Yeah, we all know that. Now that the government is still shut down, you have federal judges, activist judges, butting in once again to the Trump administration's business. This is from Politico. Judge orders Trump administration to pay full SNAP benefits. They had kind of said, yeah, we'll partially pay some of these benefits, and they were going to move around some money from here, from there, some tariff money, some USDA money. They were moving money. This judge says that's not good enough. You stupid idiots. It's like, what? So the government shut down by Democrats, and we have to continue to pay Democrat voters all their SNAP benefits. Got it. Where did this federal judge come from? Hold on. Rhode Island. Got it. They ordered that the Trump administration had to release full funding for November food stamps by Friday, today. That oral order came yesterday as nearly 42 million Americans have lost access to the benefits under the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program during record-breaking government shutdown. The Trump administration previously agreed to pay for partial benefits using emergency money, but said that doing so would result in weeks, if not months, of delays. Last weekend, SNAP benefits lapsed for the first time in our nation's history. This is a problem that could have been and should have been avoided, said U.S. District Judge John McConnell Jr., an Obama appointee. The government knew there would be a long delay in paying partial SNAP benefits and failed to consider the harms individuals who rely on those benefits would suffer. What about the Democrats who failed to consider the harms, or even worse, considered the harms and said this is good leverage? People going hungry, that's good leverage, guys. What about them? Nothing. Almost immediately, the Trump administration appealed McConnell's decision to the First Circuit Court of Appeals. During Thursday's hearing, McConnell said the Trump administration violated his earlier written order, which gave the government two options for compliance. The administration had discretion to make full payments, which would not need to go through the same administrative hurdles as soon as practical. The government also had the option to make partial payments, but was required to do so by Wednesday. He said that's the plain reading of the court's order, and instead, the government did nothing to ensure that the money would be paid on Wednesday, the judge said. He noted that President Trump's post on social media that the benefits wouldn't be funded until the government reopened stated his intent to defy the court order. People have gone without for too long, McConnell said. Not making payments to them for even another day is simply unacceptable. Well, talk to your pals. You're an Obama appointee. How about we call the Senate Democrats? Anybody? No? Justice Department Attorney Tyler Becker argued that the government complied with the judge's order by making all $4.6 billion in USDA contingency fund available to the states on Monday and releasing guidance for how to distribute partial benefits. Any delay due to logistical hurdles, he added, was because of states' inability to quickly process partial payments. But that's not what the order said, Mr. Becker. Judge McConnell responded. The government also argued that it can't divert money from other funds to support the full $8 billion or so that's needed for November benefits. However, Democrat lawmakers and nonprofits have pushed back on the administration's decision, noting that officials were previously able to tap unused tariff revenue to support a nutrition program for millions of low-income women and children. In a separate court in Massachusetts, states suing the administration filed another motion on Thursday seeking to force the government to pay for SNAP in full. It's also tiresome. All of this. It's just so tiresome. J.D. Vance commented on this yesterday. This is while they were meeting with the presidents from Central Asia countries. And J.D., not exactly impressed, but voicing his displeasure.
Yeah, look, Jackie, it's an absurd ruling because you have a federal judge effectively telling us what we have to do in the midst of a Democrat government shutdown, which what we'd like to do is for the Democrats to open up the government. Of course, then we can fund SNAP, and we can also do a lot of other good things for the American people. But in the midst of a shutdown, we can't have a federal court telling the president how he has to triage the situation. We're trying to keep as much turned on. We're trying to keep as much going as possible. The president and the entire administration are working on that, but we're not going to do it under the orders of a federal judge. We're going to do it according to what we think we have to do to comply with the law, of course, but also to actually make the government work for people in the midst of the Democrat government shutdown. If they would like to end this, we would welcome working with them to end this government shutdown, and then we wouldn't have to triage what we're going to fund and what we're not going to fund. And the last thing that I'll say is the American people are unfortunately about to start suffering some very real consequences because of the shutdown. In the past, when you had a government shutdown, you would have under the Obama administration. They would lean into all of the problems it was going to cause for the American people at the beginning of the shutdown. The president has told us to keep as much going as humanly possible. But after 30 days of this thing, 40 days of this thing, you're going to start seeing very real travel delays. That's because the Democrat government shut down. You're going to start seeing SNAP benefits run out. That's because the Democrat government shut down. They should stop this charade and open up the government. That's what we want them to do. We've been asking them to do it for 40 days. It's time.
Yeah, it is. It is time. And we're going to see these headaches if this continues. We're already seeing a bunch of delays at airports, which we'll talk about a little bit more in depth on the way. But President Trump also weighing in on SNAP benefits. President Trump, though, he wasn't really commenting on the judge as much as he was just like, what's going on with food stamps? President Trump weighing in with an opinion that many Americans share. This stuff wasn't meant for people that could work. This was never supposed to be a replacement plan for getting out there and working. And it feels like for a lot of Americans, these SNAP benefits are just that.
We have to remain liquid. We can't give everything away based on a number. Here's an example. When I was president, the number that you're talking about was a tiny fraction of what it is now. Biden went totally crazy, gave it to anybody that would ask, gave it to people that were able-bodied, had no problem. Anybody that would ask, we get the number. And it's many times the number of people are on. This wasn't meant for that. It was meant for people that had real problems.
Yep.
In many cases, people that were down and out, people that could be saved. It wasn't meant for people that could do whatever they want, the people that say, well, I don't think I'll work, I'll just, collect this money. Take a look at the number of what it was during my administration and what it was during the Biden administration. It went up many, many times my first term.
He's right, actually. It ballooned because of the pandemic under Joe Biden. It never came back down. And it's like $8 billion a month for SNAP benefits. Now, I don't want kids to go hungry in this country. Nobody does. Nobody does. And I don't care if they're Democrats' kids or Republicans' kids or independents or libertarians or communists or Nazi. I don't want kids to go hungry. Who cares, right? That's not a thing that we should hang our hat on. But you look at some of this stuff on the SNAP benefits, and it is clear that we need massive overhaul and reform on this stuff. I mean, I've mentioned it before, but it infuriates me to no end when you can go on Amazon and get a 24-pack of sugar-free Red Bull, and it's SNAP EBT eligible. What are we doing? What are we honestly? Red Bull. It's a staple of any diet. What? Whey protein. You could probably convince me on the whey protein before you could convince me on the Red Bull, full disclosure. But you look at all this stuff and it's just junk. It's garbage. This is supposed to be a safety net. If you're depending on a government safety net, Red Bull shouldn't enter the conversation. It shouldn't. I think you can make the argument orange juice shouldn't enter the conversation. It's water. Let's be realistic. It's a safety net. It's not a replacement for working. Many Americans use these SNAP benefits as a replacement for working. We need to overhaul that very, very quickly. $8 billion a month for SNAP benefits in this country is way, way, way too much. You hear some of these stories. People are getting like $4,000 a month in SNAP benefits. $4,000? Why am I working? Are you kidding me? If the government's going to cover it, why not? It's crazy. It's crazy. Again, this is all because of the government shutdown. It's all because the Democrats won't vote to reopen the government. Politico reported yesterday that there's a deal to reopen the government nearing. They also reported that Senate Democrats are expected to block the vote today as they push for further concessions from Republicans. The Democrats feel like they're winning this battle. I don't think the American people feel like the Democrats are winning this battle, but the media is shilling for the Democrats hardcore. MRC Newsbusters, they posted this study. TV news spends shutdown playing defense for Democrats. For the past month, the big three broadcast networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, have hammered both congressional Republicans and President Trump with a wall of negative shutdown coverage, largely shielding Democrats from blame for the now historic gridlock. It's been 87% favoring Democrats over Republicans, 87-13. It's insane. Only 12 reports, less than 1/5, even mentioned that the Senate Democrats had refused to vote for a clean continuing resolution. In the last month, we're at 38 days. We're at 38 days. In the last 38 days, only 12 reports on ABC, CBS, and NBC have even mentioned that the Senate Democrats are refusing to vote for a clean CR. Not a single report mentioned the Democrats voted back in March to end the same Obamacare subsidies, which they're now demanding. Democrats routinely shielded from blame. Coverage across all three networks was conspicuously vague about how the shutdown had even occurred. There were only 12 instances in which any of the three outlets hinted that Senate Democrats had voted repeatedly against the CR. On both ABC and CBS, only 12.5% of the reports on either network mentioned this basic detail. On NBC, the fact was included in just 31% of newscasts. Reports often included lines about the Trump administration pressuring Democrats, sound bites of Republicans demanding Democrats fund the government, that usually stopped short of explicitly acknowledging that Senate Democrats were the ones preventing a funding bill from passing. Make no mistake about it. Every single time a vote has come up, Republicans have voted to open the government. Every single time a vote has come up, Democrats have voted to keep it closed. These aren't debatable facts. They're just facts. It's not my opinion. That's the reality of the situation. On the way, we'll talk a little bit more government shutdown. Kayleigh McEnany is all in on nuking the filibuster. However, Senate Republicans, John Thune, Ted Cruz, saying we don't have the votes. We'll talk about it after our conversation with Monica Page at 10:05 as well. We'll talk about some of this on the way before the headlines with Joan Jones, and we'll get to your calls as well. I see Bobby on the line. We'll get to that phone call as well. If you got anything you want to add, 615-737-9986. It's 9:52. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Floor Nashville. Listen, when you support a business with biblical values, you're going to help keep revival alive right here in Nashville. That's exactly what Floor Nashville is all about. These guys have been doing the work since 2006. My friend Ricky Darr founded the business, and he's got 25 years of experience serving the city with craftsmanship you can count on. They bring the showroom right to your home. Sample flooring in your own space. You get expert guidance from professional installers, and you can enjoy same-day in-home estimates delivered electronically the next day. They got everything from hardwood to carpet to tile, luxury vinyl, custom showers. Floor Nashville does it all. Precision installations every single time. And beyond the beautiful floors, Ricky Darr then takes some of that profit and he gives it back through Revive the City. This is a local outreach that's bringing hope and faith to Nashville every first and third Saturday of the month. You can learn more about their mission to revive the city at revivenashville.net so you can transform your space and support a local Christian business making a difference. This is what I love more than anything, supporting companies that have the same values as you. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, floornashville.com, or call 615-613-4684. That's 615-613-4684, floornashville.com.
Up ahead, what witnesses are telling investigators about the man who was shot by police this morning in downtown Nashville? Also, strong storms headed our way. What Stefano has to say about the timing. That's coming up here at 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Joan Jones loves a good Stefano weather report.
You bet I do.
Everybody knows that about you. It's 9:58, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Bobby wants to talk about SNAP benefits. What's up, Bob?
Hey, nothing much, brother. How many people would you say just in the state of Tennessee receive SNAP? And I got a friend. She's a retiree. Worked for, I'd say she worked for the state for like 45 years, got a good retirement. She turned around to get a part-time job because she likes to stay busy. Well, she went to work, and she's been there for a little over a year for, I won't say which one it is. It could be the dollar store, Dollar Tree, or whatever. Well, here's the deal. A lot of able-bodied people come in. They've got a government Visa card, which, from what I understand, that card holds $7,500 for each card. Reboots every month. That don't include the EBT card they receive. They come in driving these nice vehicles. The majority of them is in their 20s, their 30s, able-bodied people to work, and they're illegals. So, I think there's a way to check into all of that if the government really wants to stop that. There's a lot of able-bodied people to work, man, and they're getting the freebies. Let's send that stuff to our veterans, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
People that work, people that's fought in the wars, man, that's lost a limb. Let's send that to them. What you take on it?
I'm with you 100%, Bobby. So we had about 700,000 and change on SNAP benefits here in Tennessee. That's a lot. Not as much as some places, but it's a lot. I think that we could look into a lot of things. You know, the most popular that we were in the Trump administration thus far, right, was when they were going full bore on Doge. And I think that we need to get back to that. People want to see this system torn completely apart. That's what we voted for. That's what we voted for. I think we need to get back to it. It's 10 o'clock, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. A man is dead, shot by police early this morning in downtown Nashville. Metro Nashville police spokesman Don Aaron saying officers responded to a call about a suicidal man.
As the officers arrived here, they encountered the man in the street. The man, according to witnesses, made references that he had a gun. As the officers talked with him further, he put his hand in a backpack that he was carrying, would not remove his hand from the backpack, and the officers were forced to fire upon him out of concern for their own safety.
Now, that man was pronounced dead at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. The officers have been placed on desk duty during the investigation into the shooting. Come this afternoon, you'll want to be watching the skies. Stefano DiPietro telling us storms are on the way.
Here's the storm threats. Everything is technically on the table, but things like tornado and hail threats are very low overall. It's much more likely that we see heavier rainfall and high wind gusts with any thunderstorms.
And he says all that in areas east of I-65. Keep it here, and we will keep you posted. Big announcement yesterday about a crime-battling task force here in Tennessee. Channel 4's Braden Ross.
It's a Homeland Security Task Force created, and it comes from an executive order signed by President Trump on his first day in office. That was back in January. And it directed the Department of Homeland Security to create a task force like this in every state. And these efforts have been underway here in Tennessee since around March, they said today, but today makes the task force official.
38 people, including suspected MS-13 gang members, already been indicted. At least 13 people have been confirmed dead in the crash of that UPS plane outside of the Louisville airport this week. Authorities, though, say that number could rise and 9 people are still missing.
UPS identifying their 3 crew members on board that plane that died in that crash. Captain Richard Wartenberg, First Officer Lee Truitt, and International Relief Officer Captain Dana Diamond. The NTSB leading this investigation. They have successfully extracted data from both the flight data and cockpit voice recorders, as preliminary data shows the plane got up to 450 feet above ground, going 210 miles an hour when it crashed.
That's ABC's Matt Rivers. OpenAI now facing 7 lawsuits in San Francisco, claiming that its chat GPT drove people to delusions and even to suicide.
The lawsuits were filed on behalf of 6 adults and 1 teenager, a 17-year-old who asked the AI tool about the most effective way to tie a noose and how long he would be able to live without breathing. The plaintiffs claim that OpenAI released ChatGPT-4 even though it had been warned by those within the company that the chatbot was psychologically dangerously manipulative.
ABC's Sherry Preston there. That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 10:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We're still in the midst of a government shutdown. We got severe weather heading into Nashville tonight. And I just saw this tweet my friend Aaron sent it to me from Nashville Severe Weather. They said the Nashville radar is down. We have other less good options close by we could use. But the good people who serve you every day at the National Weather Service finally received the 130-pound pallet with the part on it. As we speak, their 2 techs are lugging that part to the top of the radar to try and get the radar operational before the severe threat arrives this afternoon. And they're doing all that while not being paid. And that's all I'll say about it. Well, God bless them for doing what they do. And I'd like to get them paid. We could reopen the government. Speaking of somebody who's all in the weeds on the government shutdown right now, we're about to be joined by our White House reporter, Monica Page, who works with Frontlines and Turning Point USA.
Buckle up, everybody. Here we go.
Monica Page, welcome to the show. How are you?
Chris, how's it going?
I'm
it's a beautiful
good.
Day here at the White House. I know you guys are talking about some crazy weather headed your way, but hopefully we don't get any of that.
There's always crazy weather that we gotta contend with out here. What's new with you? First of all, before we even get to the news, how are you feeling? You got a baby on the way. You have one of the most intense jobs I know. How are you holding up?
Thanks for asking. Actually, we're finally over the hump of just extreme nausea every single morning. So we're hitting 19 weeks as of today,
Let's go.
which is great. We have our 20-week ultrasound next week, and I self-tanned to feel more me again. So we're doing great. We're over the hump. We're smooth sailing now.
I love it. I'm very excited for you. Congrats again. Monica Page is joining us. She is an awesome reporter with Frontlines and Turning Point USA. You had some Supreme Court news yesterday. We had a big win from the Supreme Court, and you also are in the weeds on the current arguments on the tariffs. So first, give us an update on the big win that happened yesterday, and then let's talk a little bit about the tariffs case.
Sure. Well, it was a 6-3 decision, which is a pretty good decision coming down, saying that and ruling that from now on, your passports will reflect the gender that you were born with. So none of this gender X, none of this gender identity stuff. And this ruling comes after the president signed an executive order back in January saying that the United States is going to recognize two genders only, male and female. But back in 2021, Joe Biden said that, you can have a gender X on your passport. You can be whatever gender you feel like being. So I could essentially say that I'm a guy on my passport. But now, based on your birth certificate, based on your general biology, you will be assigned that gender. So it's a pretty big win. I mean, not giving into the delusion. And the plaintiff in the case actually tried to argue that, male and female are very limiting options. And by not giving more options to people, to so-called transgender and non-binary people, you're actually running the risk of harassment or bullying or any sort of anything like that, any of that of sort. And it was very interesting that they tried to make that case, but 6-3, the Trump administration wins. It's a good day in America.
It's wild. 2025, they promised us we'd have flying cars. The best that they can do is the Supreme Court ruling that you have to be male or female on your passport.
Yeah. So, I mean, come on.
What is going on? All right. Talk to me about the other case. This one is big because it's going to affect a lot of different things, the tariff case. How is the administration feeling about it? And what's the word at the White House on where they think the Supreme Court is going to land?
Yeah, so this is actually very convoluted and it can get pretty messy. So we just heard oral arguments just this past week trying to rule the legality of President Trump's tariffs. Of course, we've heard from the administration itself that these tariffs not only provide national security, but also, they're lowering the deficit. I mean, we've already seen $600 billion in our deficit that's going to be lowered by the end of this year alone. So the White House is very confident that this administration will win this case. We heard exclusively from White House spokesperson Kush Desai. He sent us a great email because I asked for a statement or a comment ahead of these arguments. And he said, we are expressing a lot of optimism ahead of this case, but they're expediting it because it's the president described it as very life or death. I mean, this could really pave the way for the next 3.5 years, or this could have the White House, maybe resorting to plan B, but the president has a plan B. That's another thing that the White House has been really adamant on. But essentially, these tariffs were put into place through this Emergency Act, this 1977 Emergency Act, which the president used because he saw the drug trafficking crisis coming from Canada, Mexico, China, and implemented this and said, we have an emergency here. We need to expedite these tariffs. We need to, hold other countries accountable and just promote fairness with our own country. So that's where it all really started. And then from there, tacked on all these reciprocal tariffs that we saw back in April, what he called Liberation Day.
Right.
So now we're just seeing the legality of things. There we saw other states and small businesses in the Supreme Court just this past week arguing against them. But we'll see. I think it could be weeks. It could be months. Something like this would see results or see a decision maybe in the summertime. But I think they're going to expedite this. So we could see December, but still it's going to be weeks, months. We have no idea. But this administration is very confident.
Does it put pressure on the administration to get more trade deals done in the meantime while they still have this as leverage just in case they lose this power?
Sure, I could definitely imagine that that's the case. I mean, the president, as you know, the president doesn't stop working. He just held a meeting and a dinner last night with 5 Central Asian leaders trying to get more deals done and saying, listen, you guys have rare earth materials. You guys, let's form a deal here where we can get some trade deals done in the meantime. But the president, he's still pushing forward as best he can during these kinds of situations. So we'll see what happens. We have Prime Minister Viktor Orban from Hungary coming here today, so we can expect more trade deals as well. So the president is still carrying on just as he would any normal day.
Yeah, you mentioned the meeting last night with Central Asian presidents. We got the trade deal done with Uzbekistan. One of the presidents, it was the president of Uzbekistan, says, a lot of times people just forget about us. The last administration didn't pay attention to us at all. And I look at these countries in the middle of Central Asia or the middle of Europe, and it's like you're essentially the flyover states that the politicians forget about here in America. What does it mean when the president is paying attention to these countries? What does it mean for our foreign policy?
Yeah, I mean, it just makes us stronger, and it shows that we have a president who actually cares about the relationships with those overseas, not only our allies, but also our adversaries. He cares about these relationships. He wants to make sure that nobody's taking advantage of us as a country. And to see, these 5 leaders come to the White House and their teams, of course, be here, it's a big deal because this specific area in Central Asia has so much Russian influence on them. And of course, there's an increasingly bigger influence of China coming into the region as well. So the president wants to make sure, you guys are with us, we're with you. How can we work together to ensure that China isn't continuing to start courting you guys? And same thing with Russia. How can we make sure that we have a mutual agreement, mutual benefit to this relationship? So it's all positive signs here at the White House. And when you see that, not only allies, but also adversaries, it shows that, the president cares about our national security and cares about getting more deals done for the best situation for us Americans.
Yeah, and you mentioned today we got Viktor Orban coming. He's the prime minister of Hungary. During your years covering the Biden administration, did you ever have a period where you had this many world leaders coming to the White House at any given time?
No, absolutely not. And I covered the Biden White House for about a year and a half. And the consistent foreign leader that we would see here was Zelensky. That was really the only foreign leader that we really ever saw multiple times. I mean, we would see like the president of Italy and maybe some other world leaders, but to this extent, it feels like we're getting at least 1 or 2 every week coming here to the White House, which is huge. And the president really rolls out the red carpet here. We would see the color guard coming in the background, setting up for them specifically every single time. Basically, they come to visit. We're still a little early to see them here, but they will likely be here. And we're very excited to have this meeting because the president and the prime minister have a great relationship. So we'll see what comes out of it. I'm going to assume more trade deals. So we'll definitely keep a close eye out on that specific meeting.
Well, we'll be looking forward to all your reporting. We're talking with Monica Page. She is a Frontlines Turning Point USA reporter. She's our White House reporter. She joins us every Friday at Monica Page TV on X. Always worth the follow. What is the vibe at the White House today, given the results of the elections earlier in the week? We talk a lot about the wins of the Trump administration. A lot of times they seem like they're foreign policy wins, but you look at the election results from this last week, and I think that there does need to be a renewed focus on domestic wins. Is the White House talking about this?
I like that you brought this up, Chris, because that's what a lot of us are saying here on the ground. A lot of us are kind of like, listen, we're grateful for the world peace. We're grateful for the, ending these forever wars, it seems like, but you got to focus on what's happening here at home. And I think these elections that we just saw are kind of like a cry for help for Republicans and saying, listen, affordability is the number one issue that the people who are voting in these states care about.
Yes.
I mean, you see New Jersey, my home state of New Jersey. I saw counties that were red last cycle that now went blue. It's kind of alarming. And then in the 2024 election, back in a year ago, actually, so many counties went red and now flipped to blue. That says something. That should be saying something. That should be raising the alarm bells in the White House. So I think the president is working on this with his team. I've been hearing reports that they're going to start working on domestic policy at beginning of next year, so beginning January 2026, but people don't want to wait. People are sick of it, and of course, people know that what they see at the grocery store, they see the prices themselves, and we are moving in a positive direction. We see the gas prices. I mean, we were driving just this past weekend, last week, and gas was under $3 a gallon. Haven't seen that in like 4 years, which was very positive, but people want to be able to afford. And I think the number one issue is rent, utilities. That's a huge issue, especially for young Americans. A lot of young Americans are voting, as you can see. I mean, Zoran Namdani won New York. That is a huge red flag. But I think the White House is taking this very seriously. I'm hoping that we can see more initiatives to focus on us here at home domestically. So we'll see.
You've been in D.C. a while. Your husband's been in D.C. a while. You guys are in the weeds on all this stuff. You know how election cycles work. Is waiting till 2026 too late to start racking up domestic wins? Because all of these politicians are going to be going into campaign mode. Is there going to be enough attention and enough priority placed on getting these domestic wins racked up?
Well, I will say this administration did a great job at really hyping up its efforts in what it did to counter illegal immigration. So if we see that same energy in affordability this time around, I think it could be a very positive thing ahead of midterms. But some people feel like it's maybe too little too late. I mean, we're entering into the holiday season. How expensive are things going to be?
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw a report that, Thanksgiving, even though it's 3% cheaper than it was last year, that's still kind of expensive for some people. And with this government shutdown, people aren't getting paid. People can't even go home for the holidays, especially Thanksgiving. You've got college kids coming home as well, traveling for maybe sports or something, and they can't do that. So there's a lot of factors that are in this place right now that's kind of putting a lot of pressure on this administration. Me personally, I don't know if I would say it's too little too late ahead of midterms, but we're getting into little too late territory, especially when people are like, well, what about us?
Yeah.
Thanks for peace overseas. Like, we love that, but I'm not thinking about that in the voting booth.
Right.
It's just, I'm thinking about myself, my family, my friends, my community. So we'll see how seriously and the hard push this administration will take to making sure that it's going to be a huge focus ahead of midterms.
Yeah, it needs to be. You mentioned traveling with the holidays coming up. The government's still shut down. We are going to see a lot of headaches at the airports. Are we closer to a deal today to reopen the government than we were last week? What's your vibe on the ground?
That is a great question. I was lucky enough to ask Vice President J.D. Vance just this past week, I say last week, about the travel plans, and it's going to be a disaster. It could be a total disaster. We're already seeing delays. I'm sure you've seen them yourself, and I'm sure your viewers and listeners have seen them on the news. I don't know. I actually asked my husband this morning. I was like, what's going on with the shutdown? Are we going to see a reopening next week? But the Democrats just voted for the 14th time just this past week to keep it shut down. They're very headstrong in this. They're determined to keep it shut down. They want healthcare for illegal aliens. They're not budging. But what is it going to take? What deals can be made? What's going to make them budge? And I'm hoping the White House is having those conversations with Democrats behind closed doors, because this is getting ridiculous. I think a lot of people are kind of getting blackpilled on this and saying, listen, I don't know if the White House can't do what it needs to do to work with Democrats here, or Democrats can't do what it needs to do with the White House. I don't know. So it's very much up in the air. We have no idea. When we heard from Caroline Levitt just this past week, she said at the podium that it's the Democrats' fault. It's all the Democrats. Democrats need to come to the table. But it's like you kind of just feel like your hands are tied, especially as an American citizen, waiting this waiting game.
Yeah,
as things are ramping up. Yeah.
And Caroline Levitt can tell us that, but then you see reports from Newsbusters. 87% of the coverage on ABC, CBS, NBC has been blaming the Republicans for the shutdown. So it's going to weigh on the American people. At what point of the Democrats digging their heels in do Senate Republicans go, you know what, maybe we do nuke the filibuster?
Yeah, I could see that happening pretty soon. I mean, I think that's something that they're definitely considering. We heard that from the president at the Senate breakfast just this past week, saying that same exact thing, saying that, listen, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do because we're really holding things up. We're really holding up the process. And the American people are sick of it. When this first started, people were like, nobody can even tell the government shut down. This is just a DC bubble thing. But now it's starting to affect everybody. And that's where it's really starting to hurt. So nuking the filibuster could be on the table. I mean, we'll see.
Let's hope so. We're talking with Monica Page. She's our White House reporter with Turning Point USA and Frontlines. Monica, what's a story that nobody is giving enough attention to?
Well, we heard from the president yesterday that he came up with a deal with Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk to lower weight loss drug prices. So instead of paying the thousands of dollars that maybe you would for your weight loss drugs, now you can get them at a discount. You can visit Trump RX in January of 2026 to eliminate the middleman, and you'll be seeing your drug prices lowered, which is another initiative that the president is working on to making sure that the prices come down for us here at home and this affordability crisis that we're seemingly seeing here in the United States. So it'd be about a $50 copay. And then if you are on a Medicare and Medicaid, you can see those drug prices drop to about $145 per month. So it's a pretty positive sign. We heard from RFK Jr. as well and Dr. Oz in the Oval Office just yesterday. So that's a positive news and a step in the positive in the right direction here when it comes to that kind of stuff.
We were covering that press conference live, and full disclosure, I'm like, okay, I've kind of heard enough. It's a little boring. Nothing's happening. And as soon as I turned it off, the CEO of Novo just passes out. Like, we were like 30 seconds away. It got crazy in there fast. Dr. Oz jumps into action. Is he going to be okay?
Yeah, he will be okay. We heard from Dr. Oz. He gaggled with the press shortly after that. And he said, he fainted. He's going to be okay. But everyone kind of leapt into action, which was great. I mean, you have RFK Jr. there and you have Dr. Oz there, a literal doctor. So he was in good hands, surrounded by good people, thank goodness. But he is okay. And I don't know what happened. Maybe he got hot in there because those rooms get very, very hot.
Don't lock your knees. Never a dull moment at the White House. Monica Page is our White House reporter. Where can we keep up with your reporting all weekend long, Monica?
Thank you, Chris. You can find me on Instagram and X at Monica Page TV. I appreciate it and have a great weekend, Chris.
You too. Appreciate you, Monica. It is 10:23 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Monica Page is a great follow. It's PAIGE, Monica Page TV, on all the social media platforms. Definitely give her a follow and let her know that you found her here on the Chris Hand Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Couple things before we do the commercial. I think Matt Murphy's grandmother could still do a better job than Freddie O'Connell. And also, the mayor of Nashville will be joining Matt Murphy's show today at 4:05. Programming note, just for you. Hey, it's Chris Hand here, and if you love the freedom, you love the Second Amendment, you love a good deal, listen up. The Glock store got all of those for you coming up on Black Friday. They're not just doing a Black Friday sale. It's boring. They're throwing a full-blown freedom party. Forget the big box chaos. This is where real Americans are going to be shopping on Black Friday. They're going to blow the doors off of every single sale you've ever seen. Think massive discounts on everything, even Glocks. Plus giveaways on top of giveaways, food trucks, live music. The whole thing is shaping up to be a party that you're going to brag about being at later. And if you know the Glock store, you already know that they don't mess around. It was just a couple Saturdays ago that they had their Vortex Day. They gave away over 10 grand in Vortex optics to people just for showing up. You didn't have to buy anything. You just had to show up. I'm told that this Black Friday blowout is going to make that look like small potatoes. So skip the mall and celebrate your right to bear arms at the one and only Glock store on Black Friday, minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere.
When will we see the body camera video from an officer-involved shooting in Nashville today? And we'll tell you why the Supreme Court is meeting behind closed doors. That and more coming up here at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. Again, thank you to Monica Page for joining the show moments ago. At Monica Page TV, if you want to follow her reporting. She's awesome. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. My name is Chris Hand. You can follow me on social media as well. I'm on all the ones that matter. At Chris Hand on Air on any platform you prefer. At Chris Hand on Air. Hit the follow button. I will follow back on X, Instagram, TikTok. You can find my YouTube page as well.
You on Rumble?
No. Well, actually, full disclosure, I locked in my username on Rumble.
That's good.
So I think continuity is important.
Oh, for sure.
So I grabbed Chris Hand on Air everywhere, but I'm on Blue Sky more than I'm on Rumble.
Oh, wow.
Dude, Blue Sky?
Rough.
Telling you. No, it's actually like a gold mine.
Really?
Because the engagement is so low. And I really only troll one person. It's really just Randy Weingarten. But she posts all the time and she never gets any comments. So I'm just constantly dropping in like a Trump eye roll gif.
Just him Trump dancing and stuff.
Yeah, that's all I do. And then I'll just
so good.
fact check people. And people get upset. If you're into salt mining, there's no better place to do it than Blue Sky.
That's so funny.
I'm just letting you know.
I love that.
It's just that's when I need some me time. I don't go there. I don't go there for show prep. I don't go there for ideas. I'm not doing any research. That's like when I need to defrag. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not turning on your favorite show in the evening. You're going to Blue Sky and upsetting libs.
We do a little trolling.
Just a little bit of trolling.
We do a little trolling on the Blue Sky. Find me over there. Chris Hand on Air as well. Dude, it really is low-key the best place to do trolling.
I love it.
It's a gold mine. It's an absolute gold mine. On the way, I want to talk a little bit about immigration. We got some more on the Nancy Pelosi fallout. Donald Trump has made some comments, and election fallout is continuing in New York City. We'll cover all that and more. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. A couple of Metro Nashville police officers shot and killed a man outside the Greyhound bus station on Lafayette Street this morning. Police spokesman Don Aaron saying that man claimed to be suicidal and then reached into his backpack. Police fired on him, he said, out of concern for their safety.
The man was taken to Vanderbilt University Medical Center where he has been pronounced dead. The body-worn camera footage will be released later today.
TBI has taken over that investigation. The 9 justices of the Supreme Court are meeting behind closed doors today. They'll discuss whether to take certain cases. Now, one of them is a highly watched case involving same-sex marriage. Here's ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
The case is being brought by former Kentucky County Clerk Kim Davis, who famously refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Davis was briefly jailed and ordered to pay one couple $360,000 in damages and attorney's fees. She argues her First Amendment rights have been violated. She also says the court's 2015 decision legalizing same-sex marriage should be overturned. Behind closed doors, the 9 justices will decide whether to take Davis's case. 4 of them would have to agree to do it. A decision could be announced on Monday.
Now, Davis served 5 days in jail. She's appealing in order to pay those steep fines. OpenAI is now facing 7 lawsuits in San Francisco, claiming its ChatGPT drove people to delusions and even to suicide.
The lawsuits were filed on behalf of 6 adults and 1 teenager, a 17-year-old who asked the AI tool about the most effective way to tie a noose and how long he would be able to live without breathing. The plaintiffs claim that OpenAI released ChatGPT-4, even though it had been warned by those within the company that the chatbot was psychologically, dangerously manipulative to users. The Social Media Victims Law Center and the Tech Justice Law Project filed the suits, alleging wrongful death, assisted suicide, involuntary manslaughter, and negligence. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
That's the latest news. We've got your weather up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
Did you see this? This guy is from India. He makes a rogue illegal U-turn and an SUV slams into the back of his truck, killing 3 people inside. The highways are littered with illegal alien truck drivers killing people. How did they get their licenses?
Well, he's in California. We are working with the federal government to extradite him back to Florida. He will face incredibly severe charges here, and then he will be deported. But I will tell you that where was the role of the company in all of this? I don't think this guy spoke English. He clearly didn't know what he was doing behind the wheel. And yes, you shouldn't be giving illegals driver's license. We don't allow that in Florida. California does. They've issued probably over 1 million licenses to illegals in recent years.
Democrats always say, if we could just save one life. Imagine how many lives we could save if we required all of the truck drivers out there to speak English and be citizens of America.
It's 1037, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We'll talk a little bit more about the government shutdown and the filibuster on the way in the 11 o'clock hour. Right now, I want to give you some updates on immigration. They're working. They're out there working. We want to see these numbers increase, make no mistake about it. But you can't discount the hard work that is being done by the Trump administration on the border. Got a story here, which was pretty awesome. 1,505 criminal aliens nabbed in an ICE Houston blitz. They're getting gang members, child predators, and repeat felons off of Texas streets, or as Democrats would call them, voters. That's insane. Houston, Texas. This was a 10-day operation. Breitbart has a story. 10-day operation across southeast Texas. 1,505 illegal aliens, gang members, rapists, foreign fugitives. Amid growing public demand for immigration enforcement and national security, these arrests included a Mexican mafia member wanted for murder and rape, a 4-time deported Pisces gang member with a violent record, and 5 child predators, all previously roaming free in American communities. Breitbart, Texas rode with ICE enforcement removal operations during this immigration crackdown. ICE officials say the crackdown sends a clear message. Criminal aliens will no longer exploit U.S. borders with impunity. Breitbart, Texas accompanied Larry Adams, who's the acting deputy director of the Houston ICE field office, who provided a detail of the groundbreaking law enforcement operation targeting criminal hotspots across multiple Texas counties. The pilot operation on October 25th focused on finding criminal aliens on the streets. Adams told Breitbart Texas that they had anticipated there would be more opportunities to find people committing crimes, including carrying drugs, firearms, and driving under the influence. They got a lot of bad people off the streets. A lot. This is the report from ICE on social media. Let's listen to this.
Oh, he's running. Call it out.
If you're not watching this on Super Talk TV, what you're seeing on the video on YouTube and Rumble is just increased enforcements, ICE agents nabbing illegal aliens off the streets, putting them in handcuffs. I'm sure you can hear the clink, clink. That's a great sound to hear. And you see these guys putting their lives on the line. They were able to nab 17 gang members, 40 aggravated felons, 1 convicted murderer, 1 foreign fugitive, 13 sexual predators, and 115 aggravated assault perpetrators, and more. This is an unbelievable success over just 10 days. 31 weapons offenses, 1 Mexican mafia gang member wanted in his home country of Honduras for murder, and this Mexican mafia member was convicted of murder, but also of raping and impregnating his minor sister. These people are sick. You understand that, right? And the guys that are getting them off the streets are being labeled as Nazis in the Gestapo, leading to an increased threat of violence. Democrat politicians are demonizing these guys. They got a Mexican mafia member off the street who impregnated his minor sister. Well, I can't let the Nazis get away with it. Are you kidding me? This is what they do. ERO officers and other federal agents apprehended more than 1,500 criminals during the 10-day operation in Houston and surrounding counties in southeast Texas. These arrests nearly doubled the previous record of 822 criminal aliens arrested in an August operation. Officials reported in March, ERO Houston conducted another operation that resulted in the arrest of 543 individuals. I mentioned those because you can see the increase, right? March, 543. August, 822. Now here over this 10-day operation, 1,500. This is what we want, right? We want to see the numbers going up. You're seeing that in Houston. Those arrested during the October surprise operation, 17 documented gang members, 40 aggravated felons, 1 convicted murderer, 13 sexual predators, 1 foreign fugitive, 115 aggravated assault offenses, 142 DWIs, 55 drug offenses, 25 burglar theft offenses, 31 weapon offenses, and 255 illegal aliens who committed a felony by illegally re-entering the United States after being deported at least once, and numerous other additional criminal offenses. Houston Field Office Director Brett Bradford expressed his pride in the officers and agents who carried out this operation, saying despite the conditions becoming increasingly dangerous for our officers as a result of the spread of violent political rhetoric and intentionally false information, they continue to put their lives at risk every single day to apprehend dangerous illegal aliens, gang members, child predators, and other violent criminal aliens who threaten public safety here in southeast Texas. Thanks to their unwavering commitment to defend this community from foreign criminal invaders and other illegal aliens who undermine our rule of law, a previously deported Mexican mafia gang member convicted of raping and impregnating his underage sister, who is also wanted in Mexico for murder, is no longer free, Bradford continued. A 4-time deported Pisces gang member arrested for DWI and convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and evading arrest with a vehicle is no longer beating up law-abiding Americans or driving intoxicated on our roadways. And 5 other criminal alien children predators are no longer free in the community, preying on innocent children. It's unbelievable. The work that these guys are putting in. Mind you, not getting paid. Not getting paid. God bless them, man. These guys are heroes. You understand that, right? Like the guys out here doing this job right now, absolute heroes and completely fearless in the face of overwhelming political rhetoric that's going to lead to violence. And we've seen it lead to violence. We saw it at the ICE facility in Dallas. We see it in Illinois. And they're going to continue to get demonized. Somebody's going to lose their life over this political rhetoric that the Democrats are spouting. Make no mistake about it. I saw a picture posted the other day. Mayor Brandon Johnson, Mayor Karen Bass, they're teaming up. They posted a photo. It's like, we're stronger when we stand together. I think our cities are better when we get rid of the child predators and the gang members and the rapists. I think that's actually a better solution. And Americans are signing up, man. We have 35,000 Americans applying to join Trump's administration as Homeland Defenders. Tens of thousands of Americans have applied to join the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service as Homeland Defenders, the most applications received for any position in the agency's history. The Homeland Defender campaign has already been a tremendous success and has resonated with the American people. USCIS Director Joseph Edlow said in a statement, "I'm pleased to announce that in addition to seeing a historic number of applications, we're starting to bring on applicants at a rapid pace." You're going to see this increase. Breitbart continues, Homeland Defenders will serve under USCIS and determine whether a foreign national is eligible for immigration benefits, including interviewing them and reviewing their application. USCIS officials have said Homeland Defenders will work to protect the nation's immigration system from fraud and security threats. Edlow, in particular, pointed to the Department of Homeland Security's aggressive social media campaign to reach Americans interested in serving as Homeland Defenders. Protect your homeland, defend your culture, become a Homeland Defender. One particular ad on DHS's X account read, we actually have that ad, and I'm going to play it for you here on the social media stream on YouTube and Rumble. You'll be able to hear it on your radio as well. Who wouldn't want to be a Homeland Defender and stand with these guys?
The United States of America is your country. A nation exists to serve its citizens. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. It's going to be only America first. At the bedrock of our politics will be a total allegiance to the United States of America. And through our loyalty to our country, we will rediscover our loyalty to each other. We share one heart, one home, and one glorious destiny.
So that's the ad that's circulating on social media from DHS. USCIS officials said the agency would be onboarding the first round of Homeland Defenders, including former law enforcement officers and military veterans. Homeland Defenders officials said could be eligible for up to a $50,000 signing bonus and student loan repayment, among other perks. They said USCIS is not wasting time. We're committed to implementing President Trump's priorities, Edlow said. These candidates are not just applying for a job. They're applying to guard our values and defend our homeland, and I look forward to onboarding many more Homeland Defenders in current weeks. You're watching this in real time, and it's something special. The Trump administration is also slamming the news coverage, the fake news coverage of this immigration enforcement. We talked about it a little bit yesterday with one of the reports where they said that they were doing immigration raids at daycare centers, but the true story was that there was a targeted immigration raid that was happening. They had a Colombian woman in their sights. They went to pull her over. She flees. She jumps out of the car. She runs into a daycare. She barricades the daycare, the preschool. And then you get a representative out of Illinois saying, look, they're going into daycares now. And it's like, no, they're chasing a fugitive who ran into a daycare / preschool. This is not the same thing. And you can demonize these individuals, but we know what time it is. And under what scenario would any other criminal be allowed to run into a daycare, preschool, barricade the doors, and be left to their own devices? This is just what you do with criminals. You pursue them, and you bring them into custody. Breitbart has a story, though. Several high-ranking members of the Trump administration are striking back at liberal media outlets for anti-ICE and anti-Border Patrol headlines and news articles the officials believe fail to tell the whole story behind recent use of force incidents and illegal alien arrests. In one recent post, the Department of Homeland Security calls an NBC article disgusting, even for fake news. DHS blasted NBC's tear gas coverage as disgusting, accusing the outlet of omitting key facts like the arrest of a violent illegal alien assaulting federal officers. U.S. Attorney Bill Essay, how do you pronounce his last name? I never know. He rebuked the LA Times reporters for downplaying the criminal threat posed by a man armed with a stolen handgun and a toddler in tow, saying anyone who assaults or interferes with federal agents will be arrested and charged. The latest news article to draw the ire of the Trump administration was the one we just spoke about. Chicago residents saying immigration enforcement is leading to children getting tear gassed. The accompanying article described the experience of a ginger-haired 2-year-old Leah, who along with her mother was allegedly exposed to tear gas deployed by Border Patrol agents in Chicago during a Saturday morning walk. In the article, Leah's mother, Sarah Parise, hears her child scream, "Mommy, mommy, ouch, ouch, ouch," the article's author says. A senior national political politics reporter for NBC News and former reporter for Politico, details the child's mother experience, writing, as Paris raced home, she heard whistles and cars honking. She said she saw a blur of armed men dressed in fatigues. Multiple reports from that day, October 25th, detailed how Border Patrol agents conducting immigration enforcement in the neighborhood confronted residents, leading a federal judge to question an official in court over the use of tear gas there without any warning. The reference to a federal judge questioning an official in court over tear gas use in Chicago refers to a matter brought before the courts by the Chicago Headline Club and other plaintiffs regarding Border Patrol's use of non-lethal force. Coincidentally, the article's author is a former winner of the Peter Lisagor Award for Best Journalism by Chicago Headline Club, a plaintiff in the lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security and Border Patrol Commander of Operation at Large, Greg Bavino. In a Thursday morning post to X by Homeland Security, the agency chided the article's content, saying, here's the real story. Border Patrol conducted an operation that resulted in the arrest of a criminal illegal alien from Mexico who had been previously arrested for assault. During the operation, Border Patrol agents were surrounded and boxed in by a group of agitators. Federal law enforcement issued multiple lawful commands and verbal warnings, all of which were ignored. During the operation, 2 U.S. citizens were arrested for assaulting and impeding a federal officer. To safely clear the area, multiple warnings and the crowd continued to advance on them. Border Patrol had to deploy crowd control measures. Our officers are facing a 1,000% increase in assaults against them. Smears like this from NBC News are adding fuel to that fire. It must end. It has to end. It has to end. There's another article drawing sharp criticism from the Trump administration. This one from the Los Angeles Times with a headline that read, Video, armed agents drive off with child after detaining her father. Okay. The article describes an incident in Cypress Park, a Los Angeles, California neighborhood that took place on Tuesday morning outside a Home Depot store. The article focuses more on the dangers that federal immigration agents posed to a toddler that was strapped in the back seat than the father arrested during the incident. According to the Department of Homeland Security, Border Patrol agents alleged the father of the child, 32-year-old Dennis Quinines, a United States citizen, had earlier exited his vehicle carrying a hammer and threw rocks at law enforcement. These are important details to add, but they're leaning into emotional propaganda. Leaning into that emotional propaganda is going to lead to violence. When one of these Border Patrol agents or ICE officials is eventually killed because of this political rhetoric, will the Democrats in the mainstream media then decide that they've gone too far? Probably not. 1051, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
President Trump making news again. The headlines, Chris. Donald Trump revokes the Secret Service from Kamala Harris. Ooh.
The unspoken part of this story is the hundreds of thousands of dollars we're going to save in therapists and PTSD counseling for the Secret Service agents that had to be on that detail with Kamala Harris. You know, we've heard the horror stories of Joe Biden swimming naked around his Secret Service agents, but I wonder how many times they've had to pick up a drunken Kamala Harris off the floor of a Wawa because she's on a Doritos run with Dougie. We don't need to pay for that, and she can afford her own security. I don't think this is much of a story.
All right, drivers, looks like if you are going to be on the road for an extended period today and your travels take you through Humphreys County, just know that there is some bridge work, and it is blocking the right lane of 40 westbound just past exit 143. Had a deadly officer-involved shooting in Nashville this morning. We'll tell you about that coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We were just talking about ICE and the rhetoric from the mainstream media and the politicians and how it's going to lead to somebody getting hurt. Well, we just saw liberal agitators holding a sit-in at the ICE Broadview facility. This is the one in Illinois, the one that the judge removed the fences from outside, right? And police stormed in to take these guys out. Huge fan. This is how Fox News reported it moments ago.
Got some new video. This is Broadview, Illinois, and Friday morning has been the time when, well, you get scenes like this. Officers arresting anti-ICE protesters appear to be holding a sit-in, obviously, here. This is outside the ICE facility. It's been going on for some time. You're about 25 minutes due west of Chicago. Our reporter, Mike Tobin, is there all day, and we'll check in with him as these events unfold there.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. We don't say stupid. That's just in case my 3-year-old's listening. I didn't say it.
Yeah, shut up. Oh, wait.
Don't do that. Listen, I'm fine with these liberal agitators getting arrested. Good. Again, just if you're going to play silly games, win silly prizes, I'm here for it. Elsewhere in the government, we're still shut down. I don't know if you know this. We still have a government shutdown going on. It's starting to affect everything, travel, and more. Many voices are starting to speak up. Voices I was actually surprised about. Kayleigh McEnany was speaking about this last night on The Five, saying, guys, it's time to end the filibuster. There's one way to get this government shutdown done immediately, get us back on track very, very quickly, and it's nuking the filibuster. Kayleigh McEnany last night on The Five.
Let me make this really simple. No one's winning. Not Republicans, not Democrats. When military members cannot pay their bills, when air traffic controllers are calling out because they get zeros on their paycheck, when our safety is at issue in the skies, no one is winning. We are all losing. And why? Because Democrats, they got a chance to vote to pay the military. Fine, you don't want to open up the government? How about pay the military essential workers? Guess how many Democrats voted to do that? 3. John Fetterman, Raphael Warnock, and John Ossoff. 3 Democrats voted to pay the military. Now John Kennedy says, let's vote to remove our pay until military members get paid. Can't wait to see how many Democrats vote on that. Let me propose a very simple solution here. Filibuster, not in the Constitution. Filibuster, not passed legislatively. Filibuster can be removed for the sole purpose of spending bills. You can just remove the filibuster and open the government. When military members are hurting, when we are not safe in the skies, it is time to nuke the filibuster for spending bills because Democrats are hurting our country.
Kayleigh McEnany. I honestly didn't expect it from her. She's right, though. It's time to nuke the filibuster. And we're seeing the ripple effects from the government shutdown continuing. It was just yesterday, United Airlines announced that they were canceling a bunch of flights for today. Everybody's getting this little notice. Do you see the little notice? It says, your flight is canceled due to FAA-mandated airspace restrictions during the government shutdown. Your safety is our priority. And we know the change of plan is inconvenient. We're working hard to get you to your destination as soon as possible. Can we nuke the filibuster and get the government back open before Thanksgiving travel? Can somebody make that happen? I feel bad for anybody that's flying because nobody's deciding that this week. They decided this months ago, before the government shutdown. And now you're looking at your travel coming up in a couple weeks and you're like, what the hell am I getting myself into? Can we nuke the filibuster? The president wants to nuke the filibuster. Senate Republicans say there's not enough votes, guys. There's not enough votes. We'll talk about it when we get back. 11 o'clock, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. I'll tell you about that level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather today. Meanwhile, in Nashville, a man is dead, shot by police this morning downtown. Metro Nashville Police spokesman Don Aaron says officers responded to a call about a suicidal man.
As the officers arrived here, they encountered the man in the street. The man, according to witnesses, made references that he had a gun. As the officers talked with him further, he put his hand in a backpack that he was carrying, would not remove his hand from the backpack, and the officers were forced to fire upon him out of concern for their own safety.
That man pronounced dead at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. The officers have been placed on desk duty during the investigation into the shooting, which is routine. Today's the day the Trump administration is being ordered to release SNAP benefits to millions of Americans. Despite the government shutdown, the administration wants a pause. Here's ABC's Karen Travers.
It was just a couple days ago that the administration says that they were going to partially fund SNAP benefits by tapping into an emergency contingency fund so that there would be some benefits still going out. But on the issue of this ruling by the judge, there was pushback last night from the White House. Vice President Vance says this should not be the courts telling the administration and the president what they should do.
Yeah, the administration was going to partially fund it with the money that was left in the emergency account. However, this judge wants it fully funded for the entire month. The 9 justices of the Supreme Court meeting in secret today to discuss whether to take certain cases, and one of them is a highly watched case involving same-sex marriage. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The case is being brought by former Kentucky County Clerk Kim Davis, who famously refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Davis was briefly jailed and ordered to pay one couple $360,000 in damages and attorney's fees. She argues her First Amendment rights have been violated. She also says the court's 2015 decision legalizing same-sex marriage should be overturned. Behind closed doors, the 9 justices will decide whether to take Davis's case. 4 of them would have to agree to do it. A decision could be announced on Monday.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:06, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Sorry, I was like in the middle of posting a birthday shout out to my wife on the gram.
So doing something nice.
I had to wrap it up. I had to wrap that up before I got back in here. Happy birthday, Virginia. My wonderful wife celebrating her birthday today. We're gonna take good care of her, I promise.
Wait, I thought her name was Victoria.
No, that's just what Dan thinks. That's just what Dan thinks. I'm doing my best. We're gonna have a big celebration this evening after the All Pro Dad event.
Let's
which
go.
Is happening rain or shine. We're excited about that. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am a team player here at Super Talk 99.7.
Oh yeah?
I may be the biggest team player. So during the commercial break, Mason says to me, he says, dude, he's like, of course, he's like, I'm trying to eat clean. I'm trying to eat healthy. And what do I see in the break room? I see donuts and I see candy.
Dude.
And what did I say? I said, I can't let this stand.
No.
No, you looked at me and went, donuts?
But no, it was like, it was a bit more angry. Like, it was like, donuts? Who would do such a thing? So I disposed of one half of that chocolate donut during the commercial break.
You took care of it, so it wouldn't be a temptation for me, and I appreciate it.
I just don't want anything to knock you off your course.
And I appreciate it.
That's the way to go, Brother Mason.
I'm here for Mason.
Thanks, Chris.
What about Ken? What about me? I'm the one.
Dude.
I'm the one that went the extra mile for him, though.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I'm 10 pounds down, and I don't need to go up again.
Yeah, but it's not a slippery slope for you, Brother Chris.
It was a good donut.
It's a slippery slope for me. And probably Brother Mason.
It looked like a good donut.
It was a good donut. Not gonna lie.
Chocolate frosted with sprinkles on top.
It's all it's smothered in chocolate.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
it was
sprinkles.
Awesome. I'm pretty sure it was made with real children's laughter.
You know when they say they make things with love? Yeah. That's what that is.
It was baked in the cake, baby. All right, a lot to get to. We're talking about the government shutdown. There's been different reports from the same outlet. Politico yesterday, I was like, my sides were in orbit because the first Politico headline I read is, deal is near to reopen the government per Politico. And the next headline I read was, also from Politico, Senate Democrats are expected to block tomorrow's CR vote as they push further concessions from Republicans. So which is it? Are we near or are we far away? It seems like the Democrats don't want anything to do. The media is covering it in a negative way for Republicans. And it seems like we're running out of options on how to end this. We don't want to give millions, trillions, billions to illegal aliens for health insurance. Nobody wants that. What are we doing? That's what the Democrats want. So we find ourselves with our hands tied, and I am a big supporter of nuking the filibuster. I know other people disagree. People have been getting at me on Twitter. Murphy disagrees with you. That's like, okay, cool. Like I love Matt Murphy, and I love that we disagree. Do you know how boring it would be if we agreed on every single topic? Do you understand that, right? If everybody was all the time in lockstep on this radio station, it would be so boring. And Matt's a smart guy. He's entitled to all his opinions, and I'm entitled to mine. I think nuking the filibuster is a great option. Want to know why? Because the Democrats are going to do it the minute they regain power, and if we do it now, there's a chance that we stamp out that radical ideology and they never regain power again. Why are we going to half-ass this? I don't want to. I want to go as hard as humanly possible. President Trump was talking about this yesterday inside the Oval Office, nuking the filibuster. And he says, guys, think about what we could get done. Voter ID, no mail-in voting except for the military. Think about how hard it would be for the Democrats to cheat. You do believe that the Democrats cheat, right? I'm of the opinion they tend to. I know it's a conspiracy theory, but I've seen too many stories with liberals registering their dog to vote and letting them vote in elections. I've seen too many stories with illegal aliens voting in elections. Like, imagine what we could do with the filibuster. Gone.
I think it's time for them to end the filibuster and just put everybody back to work. Vote in voter ID, vote in no mail-in voting except for military, faraway military, and people that are very sick. I'd like to see one-day voting. I'd like to see not 65 days of voting.
Oh, who doesn't like a good 65-day voting window? Come on. Let's get back to one day.
From all over the place. No, I'd like to clean up the elections. The border, we've done a great job. We have a great, strong border now. But I'd like to see new rules on immigration that can be fair and good, but rules that you'll never get, rules that they're never going to get. There's so many things we could put in, including tax cuts that we could get, and we could do it all ourselves. But to do that, you have to end the filibuster. The filibuster is, and they'll do it too. They'll immediately do it. What they're going to do is, what the Democrats will do is they're going to make Puerto Rico a state. They're going to make D.C. a state. They're going to pack the court. They're going to end up with more electoral votes. They're going to end up with 4 senators because of the 2 states. And they're going to do this 100%. They would have done it except Manchin and Sinema got in their way. They would have done it.
He's right. This is what I've been screaming for a few days now. They would have done it already. Make no mistake about it. And you know who stopped them? Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. You know who's no longer there? You guessed it, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. So if Democrats regain power, they're going for this. So why are we going to handcuff ourselves again? Kayleigh McEnany's in favor of it. She says it's time to nuke it for at least spending bills because Democrats are hurting the country. Senate Republicans, though, they're saying that there's not enough votes. And I wonder if there's not enough votes because Senate Republicans, Freudian slip, right? Senate Republicans like the filibuster. It's a security blanket. That way, they don't have to piss off their donors and they don't have to piss off their voters when they don't get anything done. I think that's one of the reasons that they're fans of it. I think that's one of the reasons why they don't want to get rid of it. Ted Cruz, though, yesterday on Fox Business, not enough votes, he says.
I'm sure you were at the Republican breakfast with President Trump. He wants to end the filibuster, okay? And he's, campaigning on it, talking about it, tweeting on it. He talked to you all at the breakfast meeting.
Yep.
What does Senator Ted Cruz think about this?
Look, the votes are not there to end the filibuster. It is not every president of our lifetime has wanted to end the filibuster because if you want to move legislation through, the filibuster necessarily slows things down. I can tell you that when Joe Biden was in the White House and Democrats had the House and Senate, it is only the filibuster that stopped us from absolute devastation.
So what's going to stop them next time? Again, the only reason the filibuster wasn't nuked the last time they talked about this was Manchin and Sinema. That's it. What's going to stop them next time, Ted? You tell me that the party is going further left. What's going to stop them next time? President Trump on Truth Social earlier today, once again advocating for killing the filibuster, saying if Republicans kill the filibuster, they sail to victory for many years to come. If they don't, disaster waiting to happen. I agree with this. Remember the energy that we had a year ago in November? Listen, we were riding high. We were feeling good. Trump is back in office. Then we're going to get J.D. Vance. We're looking at 12 years of Republican control. Things have changed. Things have changed. And we are sleepwalking into disaster in the midterms if we don't wake up. If we ended the filibuster today, we could get rid of mail-in voting. We could do voter ID. Do you know how much harder it would be for the Democrats to win in the midterms? I think it would be a lot harder, personally. I do. Democrats would do it if they had the opportunity. They would. Jamie Raskin was on CNN last night, and she said, Dana Bash is interviewing him, and she said, you wanted to end the filibuster under Biden. You remember that? Do you remember when Democrats wanted to end the filibuster under Joe Biden? I remember that. Of course you remember that. You're smart. She says to Jamie Raskin, you wanted to end the filibuster under Joe Biden. What about today?
One of the things that he has been talking about for the last couple of days more intensely is getting rid of the filibuster. That's actually something that you wanted to do when Joe Biden was president and things were getting through the Senate.
Look,
is that an area where you agree with him?
We don't need a procedural fix at this point.
So you wanted the filibuster to be ended when Biden was president, but now, no?
I'm not in the Senate, so I've got no say in that.
Yeah. Weird. You know who is in the Senate and has a say in that? That would be one Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders yesterday said the filibuster. Oh, the filibuster. It's a very important part of what the Senate is, and we should maintain the filibuster. This is Bernie Sanders yesterday, and then we'll play Bernie Sanders in 2022. Western Lensman put this together on X.
The Republicans understand that the filibuster is an important part of what the Senate is. Well, I think right now we should maintain the filibuster. Well,
I think we should maintain the filibuster while we're not in power. But what happens when Democrats are in power? Well, Bernie put it on full display in 2022.
Let's be clear. This enormously important bill, a bill to protect the foundations of American democracy, will fail. It will fail because, according to Senate rules, it will require 60 votes to pass, and in a 50-50 Senate, not one Republican will vote for it. My Republican colleagues who are so adamantly against changing rules, well, my goodness, they changed the Senate rules to allow 50 votes to confirm the president's nominees to the Supreme Court. Oh, my goodness, how shocking. Rules get changed around here all of the time. And maybe, just maybe, we might want to change the rules in order to save American democracy.
WTF, did I just become a Bernie bro? Whew. I think I might have a fever.
Hold on.
I think I'm becoming a 2022 Bernie bro. Am I a Bernie bro now?
You became a Bernie bro on your wife's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, babe. I'm a Bernie bro now. This is what I'm saying. Like, everybody's talking a big game and like, oh, we have to be the example setters and we have to lead the certain way. But we all know that the Democrats don't give a damn about anything but power. Why are we going to waste the window of opportunity that we have? Anybody? Russ, what do you got?
Hey, Chris, I don't object to getting rid of the filibuster, but for those that do, I have an alternate proposal. How about we actually make them freaking talk? Every senator gets one opportunity to talk for as long as they want, and when everybody who wants to speak has spoken, you vote. What's the point of having the filibuster if you're not actually filibustering? It's just ludicrous, and it's turned into minority rule in the Senate.
I hear you. I think the only downside of your idea is having to listen to all those Senate Democrats.
That's fair, but how many times can they say this? Well, never mind. They'll say the same thing over and over and over.
Yep.
But eventually, you got, 50, 55 days, and who can talk for more than 24 hours at a time?
Yeah, no, you're right, man. I appreciate the call, Russ. 615-737-9986. You want to join the conversation? While we debate on ending the filibuster or not, it doesn't seem like the Democrats are any closer to voting to reopen the government like the Republicans are. People are going hungry. You got people getting stuck at airports. Air traffic controllers are calling in sick because they got to work a job for Uber Eats so that way they can put food on the table for the wife and the kids. You got 1 million employees missing their paycheck. That's going to ripple into the economy. CNN was covering this last night. She's like, I went to go get my eyebrows done, and this is in D.C. She said, and my eyebrow technician said they're going to have to lay off a couple people because nobody has any money to get their eyebrows done. It's like, yeah, this is what happens. It's slowly starting to affect everybody else. The Democrats still have their heels dug in. While all that's going on, Senator Dick Blumenthal said there's no reason to surrender now.
I think that there is no reason to surrender now, every reason to stand firm.
While kids are going hungry, people are going unpaid, airports are canceling flights, like there's no reason to surrender now. If the Democrats think there's no reason to surrender now, what reason do we have to not nuke the filibuster? 615-737-9986. It's 11:21. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Cabinet Makeovers. If you're looking to make an investment in your home and in your kitchen in particular, do it with Cabinet Makeovers. Dan came to my house. He installed some unbelievable pull-out cabinets, and they're amazing. I love them. The wife loves them. They are super clutch. Before we get to the cabinets, I want to tell you about Dan. He came in, and we homeschool the kids, right? While they're installing the cabinets, Dan turned it into a homeschool lesson. He's letting the kids turn the screwdrivers. He's talking to them about the Lord. This is the kind of business, this is the kind of customer service that you're getting with Cabinet Makeovers. It's a family-owned company. This is the difference that it makes. They've been doing it for over 45 years. Everything they do is Tennessee-made. Every cabinet they installed, every pull-out, every drawer in my home, all wood construction, full extension, soft close glides, and we love them, and it's going to make your kitchen really special. We're already feeling it. I wasn't sure how much I was going to love them, but I love them. To pull out your cabinets instead of bending over and digging for the pots and pans, it is an absolute game changer. And walking into this beautiful space every single day in our kitchen, it's a game changer. So if you need to make that investment in your home, do what we did. Call Cabinet Makeovers. And if you're like, I don't need a kitchen, well, they don't stop there. Custom closets, pantries, cabinetry for every room in your house, built with the same Tennessee pride and biblical values that guide their business. Call Cabinet Makeovers today. 615-331-7010, 615-331-7010, or find them online, cabinetmakeoverstn.com.
Metro Police say officers had no choice but to fire their weapons this morning. That story and more at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. It's 11:25, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, tune in, the FM dial. You can watch us. Super Talk TV is up and running. YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Shout out to the YouTube chat. Shout out to the text line. 3304 said, Chris, could I pay you to never run that commercial again? What commercial did we run that people don't want us to run again?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Is Cars for Kids back?
No, they want that to come back.
Dude, I miss the Cars for Kids commercials. It's a banger.
Yeah, you can hate the artist, don't hate the art.
I miss some of the political ads that we had too. Anybody miss those?
You made a Gino Balso reference the other day.
Did you notice that?
Like,
did you notice? I did make a
dude,
Gino
I laughed
Balso
so
reference.
hard. It was so good.
Sometimes I make jokes for myself, and as long as I'm making myself laugh, I'm like, all right, cool, moving on. So yeah, we got a lot to cover. Deb in Franklin is waiting on the line. She's got some shutdown questions. I hope I can answer them for you, Deborah. Thanks for holding. What do you got?
Happy Friday to you guys.
Happy Friday to you.
Thank you. My first question is, since the Democrats are the ones that refuse to come to the table, why is it the Republicans are the ones who have to work with the Democrats and not the other way around?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, that's a fair criticism. And when it was the shoe was on the other foot, it was the Republicans that had to work with the Democrats. But I think a lot of this goes to mainstream media coverage. I mentioned this earlier on the main networks, ABC, CBS, NBC. The broadcast shutdown coverage has heavily favored Democrats over Republican, 87% to 13%. That's going to guide a lot of the public sentiment, and then Republicans are going to feel like they have their feet to the fire. So that it's a lot of a media concoction, I believe.
All right. Well, I guess it's going to be what it's going to be, but it don't make any sense to me. Anyway,
it's not just you, Deb. It's everybody, and I appreciate your call. This is why I think that we just need to go nuclear and nuke that filibuster. You guys want to play stupid games, win stupid prizes. By all means. I'm a huge fan of that. Because in the meantime, you're seeing all the pain and the destruction that's being caused by this. Secretary Duffy was talking about this earlier today. He said he's done all he can to minimize the disruption in air travel, but it's tough, man. It's going to be tough because these guys aren't getting paid. And like, what do you do? Do I go into a job where I'm not getting paid, or do I call in so that way I can make some money doing a side gig, Uber Eats, something like that, and bring something home? You know, because everybody be like, well, the government officials are going to get back pay. It's like, okay, tell your landlord that, you know, tell your electric company that. Do you think that's going to go over well? It's not. So these guys are calling in. They got a bit of the flu, a touch of the vid, and they say can't come in. But what they're really doing is they're ride sharing. They're delivering food. It's tough. Secretary Duffy said that, you know, while he's tried to minimize that impact, the only real way to fix this is open the government.
And if I have people who want to second guess what we're doing, why we're doing it, I've done all I can to minimize disruption in the airspace. I'm trying to get people where they want to go and get them there safely. If people want to question us, I would throw it back at them, open up the government.
Thank you.
You know, that we have to take unprecedented action is because we are in an unprecedented situation with a shutdown. And so, by the way, if I don't take this action, Rick might be the first one to come at me and say, why didn't you look at the data and why didn't you take action to keep people safe? He wants to go at me one way or the other, no matter what I do. And so, again, I have a number one job of keeping people safe. I've looked at data. I want to be preemptive, and I want to make sure people are safe in the system. And by the way, this was not a political decision. We did this with the safety team at the FAA. We did it with the administrator of the FAA. As that data came in, we decided to make the decisions that we thought were appropriate.
Now, he says unprecedented times like this require unprecedented actions. And you can see what's happening. 10% of these flights getting cut at 40 airports. That is unprecedented. I've never seen anything like it. It's wild. You know what else would be an unprecedented action to reopen the government? Nuking the filibuster. It's 11:30. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$11:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes, tracking potential for severe weather later this afternoon and evening. Metro Police say officers had no choice but to open fire on a man this morning at the Greyhound bus station downtown. Officers say they responded to a suicidal call when the man claimed he had a gun and reached into a backpack.
The officers were forced to fire upon him out of concern for their own safety. The man was taken to Vanderbilt University Medical Center, where he has been pronounced dead.
Tennessee Bureau of Investigation now leading the case. MNPD's internal review is underway, and those officers are on desk duty for the time being. Government shutdown. Democrats refuse to vote to reopen it, but a federal judge is ordering the Trump administration to fully fund SNAP benefits for the month, even though there's only enough in the emergency fund for about half. The Trump administration's appealing that order.
In its appeal to the Boston-based First Circuit Court, the administration says the SNAP shortfall is a crisis that only congressional action can solve. Rhode Island-based federal judge John McConnell has ordered that billions be immediately transferred from a pot of money that funds school meals. But the administration says that order makes a mockery of the separation of powers, and that the judge can't direct the government to, quote, somehow find $4 billion in the metaphorical couch cushions.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here, and I got a special deal for all you veterans out there. Legend Steakhouse and their sister restaurant, the Brass Lantern, showing gratitude to veterans this Veterans Day by offering free meals to active and retired military on November 11th. This is a special offer available at all the Legend Steakhouse locations: Columbia, Pulaski, Smyrna, Shelbyville, and Brass Lantern in Lawrenceburg. The complimentary meal features the guest's choice of any entree listed on the menu. You got to have your valid military ID, and that is required to participate in this, but you're going to get a good meal, and it's going to be well-deserved. Since 1988, Legend Steakhouse and the Brass Lantern have been serving high-quality, made-from-scratch dishes and some of the best steaks that you are going to find across Middle Tennessee and Northern Alabama. The restaurants have an ongoing commitment to excellent service and exceptional quality. So this Veterans Day, thank you for serving. Go to Legend Steakhouse, go to the Brass Lantern, get yourself a free meal. You deserve it. It's 11:36. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. You can find me across all the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, True Social, TikTok, Blue Sky, YouTube, at Chris Hand on Air. Everything's at Chris Hand on Air. All the ones that matter. I don't do Facebook. I think that's the only one I don't do.
And I think that's fine.
That's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. People are pretty excited. Do you know why they're excited?
Why are they excited?
It's time for the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
Every day at this time, all the stories that we didn't have a chance to get to, stories that wouldn't fill a whole segment, and just random stuff. We like to call it the lightning round. Sometimes the lightning's a little delayed. It's okay.
Sometimes the Mason's a little delayed.
First story in the lightning round. We have comments from President Trump on the retirement of one Nancy Pelosi.
I think she's an evil woman. I'm glad she's retiring. I think she did the country a great service by retiring. I think she was a tremendous liability for the country.
And on Dick Cheney.
I thought she was an evil woman who did a poor job, who cost the country a lot in damages and in reputation. I thought she was terrible.
Tell us how you really feel, sir. Please, Mr. President, don't hold back.
I think she's an evil woman. I'm glad.
Okay.
No, please be honest. Please.
Can you just be honest with us, sir, and tell us what you really think?
Be candid with us for once.
Like, stop. just. You also posted on True Social. Nancy Pelosi, the old and broken political hack who impeached me twice and lost, is finally calling it quits. She illegally made a fortune in the stock market, ripped off the American public, and was a disaster for America. I'm glad to see the stench of Pelosi go.
No, sir. Stop hitting her. She's already dead.
She's already dead. Scott Jennings had an interesting idea when it came to Nancy Pelosi. And this is actually brilliant because maybe it could help with the national debt. Scott Jennings says that we should actually, now that she's retired, we should rehire Nancy Pelosi. He said this on CNN last night.
She made them really angry, but at the end of the day, there was often grudging respect for some of the things skills that she brought to the table.
Oh, yeah. There were people who respected her legislative ability and, being a political boss. I mean, she was the boss of her conference.
Nancy D'Alessandro.
And there is, for political operators, a lot of respect for that. I tell you this, I don't know how much we raised over the years off of sending out fundraising appeals based on Nancy Pelosi, but it was a metric butt ton. I'm telling you right now, putting Nancy Pelosi in fundraising mail or fundraising emails would always produce. And by the way, it's not often that someone can become a titan of both Washington and Wall Street. Republicans will remember her as one of the most successful and prolific day traders. She beat the S&P 500 by 559% in her stock portfolio. She's worth a lot of money. She did an amazing job. So what a blow for the financial houses today on Wall Street. I'm sure they're mourning.
Just getting in an elbow, right?
Yeah, really trying to get in some opposition research.
That's a classic Scott Jennings, by the way. Like, I'm beginning to view what you just did there as like the Scott Jennings on TV.
I want Trump to put her in charge of the Social Security Administration. We could all retire in 6 months if we let this lady manage our portfolios.
Do you know what I think is?
That would be the best spot for her. That or she's going to the bars though. Like, let's be honest, she's not. She's done.
She going to the bars or is she going to the vineyards?
Oh, the vineyards. She's going to the vineyards.
Watch your grapes.
Got another story for you here in the lightning round. You ever not be able to understand your Uber driver? Has that ever happened to you?
A couple times.
Handful of times. A lot. Tommy Tuberville wants to fix that. He was on an appearance on Mobile, Alabama's FM Talk 106.5. And he said that he wants to introduce the Understanding Basic English Requirements Act, or the Uber Act, which, according to his Senate office, would require drivers participating in rideshare applications like Uber and Lyft that receive government contracts to be proficient in English. So the proposal would strengthen the safety of rideshare users by requiring drivers to be able to read and speak English and align the hiring standards with the federal commercial driver's license requirements. Those found in violations could be debarred from receiving federal contracts for 5 years. He said, I hate new laws. I really do. As the American people, we've got enough laws in this country over the last 250 years. But again, when we've let all these people come across our border unaccounted for, don't know English, and is putting Americans in harm's way. Look at the CDL drivers where, hey, you've got to be able to speak English to drive one of these big, massive trucks because people are getting slaughtered on the highways. It's not their fault. It's the truck driver's fault. They can't read signs or whatever. But I've heard from a lot of people, and the worst part of their day is getting in an Uber or Lyft. It's the scary part, they say. We're not asking for much. We're just asking that when you get into a car with one of these guys, they can communicate and that they also know that the person in front seat driving them can read a stop sign. Would you be in favor of that? I'd be in favor of that. But do you want me to black pill you on it? Do you remember that time we talked to Savannah Hernandez? And she uncovered a massive ring of people selling access to Uber accounts. There would be ways to skirt this. Make no mistake about it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a good first step. I like it. But there'd be ways around it. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. Did you know that it's now legal to throw a sandwich at a federal officer?
Like a footlong?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's actually you're totally good to do it. Do you remember this happening in D.C. when they brought the National Guard in? This unhinged lunatic. Here, I'll put the video up on the screen on YouTube and Rumble. This unhinged lunatic and his, what would you call that? Is that peach or is that apricot polo?
I'd say peach. No, peach is a little more orange. Yeah, that's definitely leaning apricot.
It's leaning apricot. But he's in his little polo. He's in his shorts. He's very upset that federal law enforcement is on the streets of D.C. The National Guard are on the streets of D.C. And he takes a foot long and he hurls it at the officer before running away, and I'm assuming crying and peeing at the same time because he knows he's about to get tackled. Well, that's totally legal now because he was found not guilty.
Lame.
Not guilty of assault. After the verdict was read, Dunn told reporters that he was relieved and looking forward to moving on with my life. I'd like to thank family and friends and strangers for all of their support, whether it was emotional or spiritual or artistic or financial. That night, I believed that I was protecting this guy. Talk about white knight virtue signaling. That night, I believed that I was protecting the rights of immigrants. And let us not forget that the Great Seal of the United States says e pluribus unum. From many one. Every life matters, no matter where you came from, no matter how you got here, no matter how you identify, you have the right to live a life that is free.
Lame.
So, $5 footlongs are not a deadly weapon. And they're not $5 anymore, but
no, absolutely not. But
that's like $12.
Maybe you just had pepper on the sandwich. That's why it's not assault.
Oh, that was weak. All right. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. Okay, so you remember Kanye's gone crazy. Everybody knows Kanye went crazy.
Yeah. Crazy, okay. A little racist. Actually, a lot racist, but
who's keeping score?
Nah.
So Kanye, here's the thing. He put out a video, and he's apologizing to a rabbi. DJ Academics put this out, and he said, Ye wanted me to share this with y'all. And he's apologizing to the rabbi. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like Kanye is on more drugs now than when he went on his unhinged rants.
Oh, I think when he was on his unhinged rants, he was off medication.
Well, he was huffing nitrous oxide every day.
Yeah, there was that.
There was a tinge of the laughing gas.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But listen to his voice here and tell me that they don't have Kanye on sedatives. I'm glad that he's apologizing. I don't mean to like bury the lead, but I'm listening to this. I'm like, oh, they definitely got him back on medication. Listen to this.
I feel really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues and dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have them taken them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself.
I don't know. Is it just me, or does it sound like he's on some downers?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with how aggressive bipolar disorder can get, I'm not surprised if he is.
Well, I'm glad they did this. I'll still be praying for him to get
absolutely.
healthy. He doesn't sound healthy.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't sound healthy at all. I got another story for you here in the lightning round. The Daily Mail is calling out Nancy Mace. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't. What's going on?
Okay, according to the Daily Mail, they're saying Nancy Mace made up fake gang rape accusations to blackmail her ex-fiancé over their jointly owned homes. The Daily Mail says that Mace hacked into her ex, Patrick Bryant's phone the day after he broke up with her. Bryant says Mace made up accusations against him to pressure him into relinquishing their two jointly owned homes worth around $6 million. And this is all according to Bryant's new lawsuit, which alleges that Mace installed an app on his phone to extract his data. He's accusing Mace and a friend of convincing a vulnerable young woman that Bryant and his two friends and two of his friends gang raped her at a party. According to Bryant's 19-page complaint, Mace told political consultant Wesley Donahue that Bryant filmed women without their consent, which she would use the information she found on the phone to get her houses. The lawsuit says Mace instructed Donahue to tell Bryant she would make the photographs public if he did not give Mace the properties. Bryant also received phone calls from Mace after their breakup, where she flip-flopped between wanting to get back together and blackmailing him with information she had claimed to see on his phone, the lawsuit states, according to the Daily Mail. The complaint claims that Mace and a friend formed a conspiracy and convinced a vulnerable woman who passed out at a 2018 party that she was gang raped. Mace allegedly told the woman that she discovered a video of her being raped 6 years earlier when she was unconscious. The woman said she had no memory of the alleged attack, as reported by the Daily Mail. She told Doe, a young, impressionable woman who had worked for Bryant years earlier, that she obtained a video of the alleged assault from Bryant's cell phone. What Mace did not tell Doe is that she concocted an entire false narrative of an assault to blackmail Bryant, gain leverage in their separation proceedings, and to try to ruin Bryant for her personal gain. Now, again, this is all from Bryant's lawsuit, and I'm not... Let it all play out in court. I don't know how you prove any of this on the he said, she said stuff, but if these accusations are true, that is pretty explosive, to say the least. Got another story here in the lightning round.
That's what happens when the mouse slips, man. I'm just saying.
The mouse can slip. I thought you knew where I was going, because I have audio of Karine Jean-Pierre.
Oh,
I thought you telegraphed what was next. Karine Jean-Pierre says that corporate media isn't tough on Trump like they would be on Obama. Said there's a double standard with corporate media. What?
Is it harder to trust and be trustworthy of a corporate media right now?
I think you said it, corporate media, right? I mean, there's a change in who owns the media, who gets to decide who speaks on behalf of these networks. And I do believe, now to your question about where we are with the media, I think there's a Trump standard. You know, there's a Trump standard that he's just covered differently. And it is insane. I mean, President Obama said it perfectly recently. He said, can you imagine if I did that? Can you imagine? And so there is a double standard there.
Can you imagine if Obama did that? Like what? Like get all those peace deals done instead of just drone bombing kids? Could you imagine? I guess all we can do is imagine. But when you look at the actual facts of the matter, and you look at the way the press covers Trump versus how they covered Obama or how they covered Biden, this is laughable at best, cringeworthy at worst. But hey, what do I know? She is the most unbelievable black lesbian press secretary we've ever had, and I apologize for not knowing as much as she does.
Obviously.
11:51, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Zero Res Nashville. And 4 kids, 2 dogs. You understand what we deal with. Lots of stains. My 3-year-old, I've told you this before, but I'll tell you again. She'll get an applesauce pouch, and then she decides to spin around in the living room. And what we end up with is an applesauce tornado. And that applesauce tornado wreaks havoc on the carpets. And we used to be like, oh my gosh, we can't get these pouches anymore. What are we going to do? And we've decided, no, we can do that. We got Zero Res on speed dial. The Maha of carpet cleaning. They use their exclusive ZR water. No soap, no harsh chemicals, no residue. Carpets and upholstery aren't just going to look insanely clean. They're going to stay clean longer. Take it from me. They stay clean longer. Kids can sprawl out. Dogs can roll around. We don't have to stress. And it's not just carpets. They do air ducts, tile, rugs, upholstery, the works. If you got a lot of kids running around your house, you got a lot of pets running around your house, call Zero Res. It won't break the bank. $45, any room in your home. That's it. Just $45. 615-535-9376. 615-535-9376. It's the perfect time of year to do it. If you're going to have family over for the holidays, get the carpets cleaned. ZeroResNashville.com.
Did you see this lunatic?
What's wrong with me? Oh,
right.
hey, smile for the camera, you little Nazi
That's
bitch!
enough.
Kill all Nazis! We won World War II! Fuck you! Kill all Nazis!
So that is a crazed leftist yelling at a Republican and calling him Nazis. When will the Democrats understand calling Republicans Nazis is anti-Semitic? Because when you do that, what you're doing is sanitizing what Adolf Hitler and the Nazis did. That, my friends, is anti-Semitic.
Kill all Nazis! We won World War II! Fuck you! Kill all Nazis!
11:56, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. We got Mason Fleming producing, Ken Weaver in the newsroom, Chad Benson's in studio. Big plans for the weekend, big man?
Yeah, we're going to go to, what's that place called? Under the Sea? We're going to go to one of these places where they have fish tanks everywhere while we eat.
I don't know if that's the actual name.
That sounds like a good place.
I was just being a...
It sounded like something real. I don't know.
The one at Opryland.
Yeah.
We've been there. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, it's probably just a fish store. It's probably Petco.
Under the Sea. It's like, why are you eating in here?
I know. I don't know. But I just reached in and grabbed... No, we're going to go there, and then we're going to go see Predator.
Because your daughter's in town, right?
Yeah. And she is very sci-fi and all that stuff. So we're going to go see Predator. She's super excited.
So... we were watching the World Series, me and my 8-year-old, and the Predator commercial came on. He's like, what the heck is that? It's like, sorry, dude.
It's interesting because there's no blood in it, and it's PG-13.
What?
Yeah, no blood in PG-13.
It seems like that's an immediate letdown.
So, no, the action, my uncle said the action's crazy, but he said one of the things that's amazing is it's all about the Predator. The Predator's the good guy in this because he's going to a planet where everything could kill him and they're all monsters and he's a runt and all the other Predators want him to die. They hate him, including his dad. So they hope. And so he teams up with like a robot.
It's about time that Predator got some better PR.
Yeah. It's been a while. Well, I don't know. Predator was pretty cool. Like a couple times the Predator's been cool, right? Because it fought the Alien versus Predator.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were very pro Predator versus Alien.
Yeah, because the Predator wanted to come and fight an area.
You ever see the meme online?
What?
Where it says we should tell illegal aliens that they can have citizenship if they grab a sex offender. We'll call it Alien versus Predator.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
I saw that.
That's where my mind goes every time. So we're pro Predator.
Yeah, pro Predator hunters.
Didn't he fight Batman a couple times in a comic book?
I think he did.
I'm pretty sure he did.
So, Batman. I'm Batman. What are you up to?
Batman 1. We got the All-Pro Dad event tonight, which is going to be fun at Nissan Stadium. And then we're chilling. My wife's birthday is today, so we're gonna do birthday stuff over the weekend. Go out and go to a fancy restaurant, stuff like that.
Ooh, Under the Sea.
We might have to do Under the Sea. I'll wait for you to report back and tell me how it was.
I told hey kids, we're gonna get McRibs. Who's excited? Yeah, Under the Sea. That sounds like a good place. What was that? What was the one that the jungle one?
Rainforest Cafe.
That's the one.
Oh, it's called the Aquarium. I knew somebody on the super text line would.
Oh, okay.
Know.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
My wife typed in an aquarium. I was looking. I go, we're going to go to this place this weekend. I go, what do they even have there? Because, I hate fish. And she types in an aquarium. I was like, the aquarium? It can't be called the Aquarium. That's too easy.
That's what it's called.
All right. Well, I'm going there.
It was a missed opportunity to not call it Under the Sea.
Under the Sea. You know why? Because somebody probably has Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Sounds cool. What'd you talk about today?
Government shutdown.
Still?
It's still happening. You didn't know that?
I heard.
I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon.
Oh boy, have I heard!
I like the idea to nuke the filibuster. That's what I've been ranting and raving on. Actually,
nuke the filibuster.
Get rid of it. I'm so sick of this. Like, can we get some stuff done? We got a window of opportunity here, and it's closing rapidly.
Yeah. Well, they're all sitting around and go, how do we nuke the filibuster, but never let them nuke the filibuster? Well, we can't do that because no. So yeah. So this will be. They're not going to do it though. There's too many pushing back. And the reason is because eventually Trump's going to leave and they're going to be sitting there going, yeah, look what you left us.
These guys are soft. That's what I've come down to.
It's renters and buyers. Those guys are there for a lot longer. And if you're a renter, you're going to come and go.
Fair. 12 o'clock. Chad's in next. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.